respect to the trans community. And fuck you, trans folks.
Trans people are my friends. Trans folks come catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for where we're going in. Trans people are my friends. Trans folks come catch these hands. Trans people are my friends.
All right, folks. I'm sorry. It's June. It's June. I thought I'd start us off uh with the June national anthem, right, guys? What did you think of that, Chris?
It's really gay.
Yeah, it was. It was. It's just, it's June, right? What can you say? Um, yeah, I don't know, Jake. I don't even know. But listen, folks, we're joined tonight by Luke. I'm gonna mess it up. Kowalowitz. Did I get it right?
Nope, it's Korolovich.
Korolovich. Luke Korolovich, art.
Yes, that's
So
how it
Luke,
is.
tell us about yourself. He's been here before, but in case you guys don't remember, what are you up to, Luke?
Well, right now I'm in the middle of getting the 5th page drawn up for my comic Intrepids. Last month I finished my 2nd comic, and now I'm in the middle of the drawing process. Last night on my stream I just did a little patch design, like a little NASA-style mission patch design that I'm planning to have as like a stretch goal for when eventually I make it a campaign through crowdfunding. And I even have a video for channel members for them to suggest their ideas for what would be good ideas for stretch goals.
Nice, because like again, Forging Fandom, what we do bring on people who actually, create new stuff. Luke creates art, versus because unfortunately what we're seeing right now, from modern creatives, we just got the Acolyte. I know Luke hasn't seen it, and good people, again, don't watch the Acolyte, please. Chris, I assume you also have not wasted your time with that show, right?
Well, unfortunately, I was invited to a watch party and I
no.
watched it. And I wish I can delete those last hour to hour and 40 minutes out of my head. So yeah.
Oh man. Well, today we've been graced with 2 interviews. One from the actor and director, and another older one from one of the actors. That I'd like us to take a peek at. To promote, the Acolyte. One of them is, and the other one's a bit of an older interview. From the lead actor. Promoting one of her movies. So, these you're supposed to like actors, right? They're supposed to be charismatic, likable. They're trying to get you to watch what they're doing. That's the whole point of things like this.
When people watch The Hate You Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was cool.
So she doesn't like Whitey.
The lead actor of The Acolyte, and this is how she's supposed to endear us to her.
Well, she's only endearing herself to Trevor Noah right now.
Well, you know what?
We wanted to make sure.
On that note, Trevor Noah is the most unfunniest comedian ever. I never found him funny. I always thought he was like rather lame and dry. Like his dry humor is not even good.
I will say this. You have a black man who once did a comedy show at the Fox Theater in downtown Detroit, and he didn't sell out. In the blackest city in America, a black man could not sell out a comedy show.
Ooh, Trevor Noah?
Yes. And Tyler Perry sells out.
Technically, Trevor Noah is mixed, so like he don't really count. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But I can't help but notice that he'll always really lean into it whenever it comes to trying to make an excuse for how unfunny he is. He'll lean into the, oh, hey, you don't like me because I'm, this, that, or other. And hopefully you'll ignore the, white part of his family.
Yeah.
So
his
right
dad,
here,
his dad is white and his mom is black. Go ahead, man.
That's only half of that's valuable to him. The other half isn't. But right here, we've got Leslie Hedling, the lead director of The Acolyte, and also what's her name, the actress Amanda Stenberg. I can't say it. But here, this is directly for The Acolyte, folks. Their interview.
I want to ask you both because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars. I think by a considerable margin.
So yeah, the Acolyte, for anyone who didn't know, it is indeed, I can confirm after seeing it, it is the gayest Star Wars. Do you concur with that, Chris?
Yeah, I think it is because like what I saw was really not that good. Obviously, like basically how she's born, she has not a father, a mother and a father. She has two mothers. Like, she got the America's Chavez action going working here. So, yeah, they are just putting their ideology out once again. I mean, we should be used to this by now. So, yeah, Star Wars is dead, people. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm watching Attack of the Clones, by the way. Like, I had to erase my mind from this show. Like, say what you want to say about Attack of the Clones. Like, I would rather watch that 10,000 times than watch this piece of crap again. So, yeah.
And with Luke here, who hasn't seen the show, Luke, I want you to listen to this and let me know if this, what they're about to say, makes you want to watch the show. Because that's the whole point of this, right? Doing interviews like this is to make you want to watch the show.
And are you excited about that? Are you
Not
bracing
the gay
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay. Let's be honest. Leslie, are you?
Does this make you want to watch the show, Luke?
I'd rather watch a snuff film.
I think that might be what this is, to be honest.
It's a snuff film for Star Wars, maybe.
For the gays,
You are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this? This is going to be a talking point.
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure so.
Because nerds are gay.
You heard it here, folks. Nerds are gay.
Well, some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But in my world, nerds are gay.
So we're all living in her
This is
world.
what I don't get. Like, when did a nerd be made you like some type of when did nerds become like race or like gender or anything like that? I want to know when that happened. Two, who cares if you're gay? Fine, you guys got your marriage thing. Good, happy, whatever. I don't care and everything. And three, everybody knows if you're in the quote unquote nerd world or geek world or whatever, everybody's welcome. No one really cares, the rule is, as long as stay in your lane, know your stuff, and just prepare for debates and stuff like that. Yeah, everybody knows that if there's one community that is more open than anybody else, is the quote unquote nerd and geek community. I don't understand where this is starting to have these. I guess when these companies made it commercialized or whatever to be making quote unquote cool to be a nerd, I guess that's when it started to be on people's radar. But I don't know. Luke, what do you think, bro?
I think, it's all a matter of the whole geek culture was nothing, or it was there, but it was always looked down upon, until then eventually some wily gentleman figured out that, we could start treating us like a race of people that we can start then, controlling or exploiting for our corporate malfeasance, and do it overtly, as opposed to always having that same kind of merchandising, same kind of franchising of Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever, and knowing, we've got this captive audience.
I mean, it's like she said, it's in her world. She decides that these people, they believe, they come in, they recreate Star Wars in their image, they create it how they want. And since she believes that nerds are gay, they are, because who's to question these two right here?
Was this the fun element of?
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly,
you're offended
into it.
The thing is, the actress is really gorgeous. She's really beautiful, man.
I mean,
just the most dumbest things ever that makes her look stupid.
She is a lesbian, right, Chris? I'm sure. We can just
from
assume.
her third interview, she did confirm that she's a queer. So yeah, I guess she is. So
Star Wars is so gay already.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each
My
other.
God, this woman's insufferable.
So what are they talking about besides all I hear is gay, 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 gay? Is this selling you on the show, Luke?
No, but then again, these people could not sell. They couldn't sell beans at a farting contest. They couldn't sell rocks at an Islamic
They couldn't
hitting
sell
women in a head
oil to a
context.
rich Arab dude. Look at him. Look at her.
Yes.
Oh my
Are you
God.
telling me with a straight face that C3?
And since Arab people make up about 90% of the Disney funding, yeah, that's bad.
Listen to what she says right here.
They're a couple. That's what I think.
Here.
Right.
They're a couple.
With a straight face.
Sorry,
That C3.
Leslie Headland is just
She
She
ugly,
just
bro.
said, "Are you telling me with
She
a
makes,
straight face that
she makes
C3PO
Rosie
is
O'Donnell look
straight?"
like a supermodel.
What are they
A
doing?
couple. That's what I think. But this is more outward.
I think it's canon that R2D2 is a lesbian.
Oh my
Oh.
God. That's all I can take.
Wait a minute. When did like droids have like feelings to be?
It's canon that R2D2's a lesbian.
Because they can't see 2 inches past their nose.
He's a robot. And Anakin even refers to him as like he impassively just because it's like he, a robot. But R2D2's a lesbian, folks. You heard it here. So,
Yeah,
Chris, did you
I don't
watch
know, man.
episode? Did you watch episode 2 or just episode 1?
So we all watched episode 1 and 2, like a watch party that I was invited to or whatever, and I really did not want to watch it, but you know, hey, free watch party, why not? Or whatever. Like, you know, get to mingle with some people or whatever. Oh my goodness. I
just watched episode 1 and it was absolutely insane. I did a video on it, which everyone should go watch after the stream. It's 12 minutes. I lost my mind. Like nothing in the show makes sense at all. The dialogue, like the opening dialogue, where the black girl assassin thing comes into Trinity and she's like, she just walks in, she's just like, fight me. And then Trinity says, Jedi don't fight, they're unarmed. And then she's like, yes, they do. And then they just fight. It's the most like stale, like nothing stuff. And then there are these huge guys all around it that she just takes out.
Yeah.
And then
it was
the
kind of
biggest thing
cringe when she like it was just basically, and Luke knows what I'm talking about. It's like it was basically one of those bad kung fu movies, Luke, that like you watch on a Saturday where you have nothing else to watch, like in Star
The
Wars.
Shaw Brothers stuff. Yeah.
She
Except
literally
they
says,
wish
fight me.
they wish they could come up with something half as artistic as the 36th Chamber of Shaolin.
Yeah.
A Big Dog Jake says R2D2, the astromech droid, now a lesbian, and that is apparently canon. It is. It's very much so canon. And if you disagree, then you're a racism or something. Hail Sophie. But yeah, the biggest thing in the whole episode for me, and there were a lot of things that jumped out that was awful. It was all awful. It was horrible. But so the Jedi go through this whole thing to go and capture the twin, right? Who they believe are responsible. But then the next scene the Jedi are in, they teleport back to Coruscant, and meanwhile they put their fugitive in this droid ship with 3 droids, 2 of whom are pilots, and only one's a guard, with like 10 other prisoners, none of them restrained, to transport them back to Coruscant. Meanwhile, the Jedi just teleport back, I guess. Why would they not travel back with her? They just disappear, and the next time we see them, they're at Coruscant.
that was kind of stupid. It's like, why would you leave a prisoner like open? Like, you know that she has the Force. You know she has the Force.
She's
you
not
guys can
restrained at all.
that she has the Force. Like, why would you let her? It doesn't.
And one of the
I'm losing
dudes
brain
in the
cells
huge
trying to
free
explain it.
spell, because there are like 10 dudes, only one guard. One of the dudes is a cyborg, and his cyborg implants allow him to mind control the droids to shut them down. And there was nothing to prevent this from happening. There was no security on this prisoner transport whatsoever. It makes no sense. Like, it's insane. Like, why? Why was this made? Make it make sense.
Leslie Headland's blackmail material. That's how this got made.
Luke, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I think Leslie Headland is basically Kathleen Kennedy's replacement. Like once she's ready to leave or whatever, like I think she's gonna be the next person in charge. What do you think about that?
I don't think about that, but well, Kathleen Kennedy will be there for as long as she wants. But because of how much old Miss Headland has obviously got a lot of blackmail material and all the right people with all the right connections, trust me. If whatever they do to finally get Kathleen Kennedy out of there, I don't know, burn her at the stake, breach of contract, whatever, and finally get her out of there. Yeah, maybe Leslie Headland will go ahead and do this because it's Kathleen that was publicly talking about how much she was crying at how much she loved the pitch for the Acolyte. I do know about that.
Yeah.
It's just like the Acolyte, right? Like it looks good. It even looks okay. Like some of the shots, like there's this ice planet at one point, and it looks neat. And it's such a shame. Like, what was the budget? Like $200 million for this like piece of trash. That's just insane how awful the writing is, and it's such a waste. Where we could have got like a good Star Wars show instead, we got this. Where there's nothing redeeming about it. Like, Chris, was there anything in that episode, or you watched 2 episodes? Was there any single redeeming quality about them whatsoever?
I want to say that the fighting was okay, like the martial arts stuff was okay, but even that, it was kind of like, forced or whatever. And then like the main girl that everybody was supposed to say that was supposed to start that was in the Matrix. I can't think of the woman's name or whatever. Like the Jedi that was in the first episode that she was killed. That was your number one marketing person. So yeah,
And she's in it for 2 minutes, and she's all over the trailers.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, so like she got killed. So and once again, you can use the force to like force it right back. How can you? You don't know. They don't know the material anymore. This company is done. Like, you know what? Like it's like Star Wars is dead. And I keep on telling people, like, listen, you can like this. That's fine. You have hey, we all like, there's some stuff that everybody likes and a lot of people hate or whatever. And that's perfectly fine. But this franchise is dead. No, like every time when I go to a convention, I say this all the time. No one is talking about Star Wars. No one's talking about Star Wars. I'll see like cosplayers with the lightsabers, but guess what? They're not cosplaying none of the Disney characters. They're cosplaying the old school characters. Once again, I said this last week. Anakin, Qui-Gon, Mace Windu, Lando Calrissian, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. Those are the Darth Maul. Those are the people that I see the most cosplay at conventions. No one's not cosplaying as Rey. No one's cosplaying as Finn. No BB-8 or whatever. No one cares about these people. Like they're taking a roster spot. Like, can somebody? Is there a Saudi Arabian prince out there that loves Star Wars that can buy it and like do whatever he wants to do with it? Can we just have classic Star Wars back? Luke, what do you think, my man?
I do like a Star Wars, but okay, here, I give you oil money check, and you put Leslie Headland head on Saber. And then I will go and I will make sure that you get the Luke Skywalker. You get him back, but first his granddaughter gets to slap him across face with her feet. Then you go and make sure that you get lead of all of the I do not like the lady who looks like a trucker, who is supposed to be Mandalorian. Now, no, I don't want that. I just want Yoda to be have a fine. And also, you give me Mara Jade in a movie live action, or else I take away Czech, and then I take away the clitoris of all your women.
And bring me Sydney Sweeney as your new slave girls too. But on the brighter side of things, we do have something that, another sci-fi franchise, Aliens, that actually has a new movie coming out that might actually be kind of good. We've got the Alien Romulus trailer, which Luke suggested we check out. So I'm gonna pull that up. So Luke, when does this release?
This release, it is August 16th. I know it's for sure in August. And it's from the director of Fede Alvarez, who actually got me excited because I know reflexively we would see a name that's not white and go, oh God, no, it's a race, it's a diversity hire. Well, then you look at his filmography and no, he directed Don't Breathe, which actually took place and was filmed in my home city in Detroit. That was low budget, high yield kind of success. And also the remake of Evil Dead, which is one of those few remakes that's actually entertaining, made by people who are actually making the movie with some creativity. So he's actually qualified to direct this.
Yeah, unlike the people who have credit on one episode or one thing 10 years ago and then are just given a franchise now. which is
Yes,
insane.
like, and even when he did The Evil Dead, he had a movie to his name, but it was something that was made like small budget with a lot of practical gore effects, and it was the producers that saw that and went, "This is the guy who can remake Evil Dead well."
Here we go.
Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, that
planet?
first shot kind of looks like somewhere between film noir and something you would see in the game Alien Isolation.
It's fantastic. Better than anything I saw in the Acolyte.
Oh yeah, nice textures on that planet there.
Then this is our only ticket out of here.
Very young cast, but Fede Alvarez always works with like 20-something millennials as his actors. That's both creative and disturbing. Oh, there it is.
What's happening?
There's probably a lot of people want to see the movie now because they see the skinhead Asian ladies getting the chest burster going out of her. So you don't like that. You don't like that inclusivity casting. Well, you've got the lady who looks like if they were going to do a race swapped remake of Alien 3, she's the one in the trailer, and it's bursting out of her ribs.
Something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the
No,
water?
there's just something in the fucking water.
Oh, going right in there.
Fucking thing's hunting us.
Oh, but then don't come on.
Run.
How many of these are there?
So it definitely looks like
Justin
this is
Day?
playing a bit more into like the horror elements, more so
Oh,
than
yeah.
just with a straight thriller.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be any guns in this, so it looks like, well, music to my ears and the ears of Razor Fist. It's more for the first movie, which is based on the tension and the horror of the unknown in space, as opposed to, oh, just gun them all down.
Mhm.
And I'm a
Yeah,
fan of
definitely.
Alien 3.
It
So
builds
I-
a lot more suspense when it's something like moving in the shadows that you can't really see, and it's more ominous versus if you're just like shooting like 10 of them, you know?
As well designed as the Alien was, that does the movie, the first Alien deserved its Oscar for all that, but still, you don't really see the complete thing until the end, and then when you see it and it's, out of the airlock and it's like hooked because of the grappling hook gun, yeah, then it kind of looks silly. Title appearing in sections, the letters, that's another great little reference, although Prometheus also did that.
And Prometheus
Are
also
you
had a
sure
great
you
trailer.
want to do this?
Here we go.
Of course, the ending's really loud, but
I never was a big fan of the aliens, so maybe you guys can educate me on it. What are they like? What is the whole purpose on the Alien franchise?
well, it wasn't really something that was made to be a franchise. It was a one-off script that a screenwriter did. He wasn't even going to go to like a big studio. He had it as a little quick script that he hoped that Roger Corman would go and make for 20 cents. Then for whatever reason, Roger Corman said no, and then it wound up getting picked up by 20th Century Fox. The producers that had a production deal there, they had it. They couldn't get it greenlit, but then Star Wars came out, and because of the success of Star Wars, that's when every major studio started trying to go and option scripts that they already had, or put in production scripts they'd already optioned. And Fox had already optioned Alien, and now they said, okay, we're actually going to go and make this. Except they went on the science fiction trend with the bandwagon of doing something that is horrific, that is all about the fear of the unknown, and about how it's this horrifying thing you can't take down. Like the acid for blood defense mechanism that Alien has was something they came up with to answer the plot question of why don't they just shoot it? which also is another reason why the more time over the years, the more I don't like Aliens as much because, well, it's this big action movie where everybody's just shooting it. And, well, of the whole idea, it has that acid blood defense right there. And, like, maybe one or two times do, like, people really get taken down by the acid blood right there in the movie where everybody's just shooting at them. It's the fear of the
So
unknown.
basically, it's sort of like
Breaking-
Predator. It's basically like Predator in space, basically.
Well,
Yeah, but
Predator
more
did
like
it
a
with-
horror element to it, kind of more suspense, like creeping through the ship, like where is it, picking people off one by one.
Yeah.
We actually
Alien
have
did
some
it too.
breaking news. This just released from their upcoming Ray movie. There's the first footage from on set. So this is Daisy Ridley on set filming for the Ray movie. It's shocking that this got out, folks. So it was taken on set for the upcoming new Star Wars project. So this is Rey on set. She was assigned Palpatine at birth, but she identifies as a Starwalker.
Looks like somebody that once got me a cappuccino at Abbot Kitty. That's a little neighborhood in Venice, California, Venice Beach, Abbot Kinney. That's where basically everybody has the ski caps and beard like that.
You guys excited for the upcoming Rey movie? Sorry, the upcoming Palpatine movie?
Nah, not really. It's like once again, I told you, Star Wars is dead until like the rich Arab dude buys it or whatever. So
we need yes. They're buying up UFC stuff. They're buying up all these other things. Let them go and buy up Star Wars, and then so you get like the great grandson of some Saudi oil prince who's got all the money and is really into it. The way that AEW wrestling company is run by a guy who's just really into. He's the son of the billionaire who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he said, "Okay, Dad, I want the money to go and start my own wrestling company." So someone like that for Star Wars, maybe that.
You kind of just
But
need a fan that's gonna buy it. Like it's to the point to where you need to be a fan to buy it back, just so we can give it back up to other fans or whatever. So
he loves space travel. He just had another big launch with SpaceX today to rival that Boeing Starliner launch that actually succeeded. Maybe Elon Musk.
Yeah. Hopefully.
You want to stop me from doing Star Wars? Go fuck yourself. Hi, Bob. Whatever that accent is. He's South African, but what is the South African accent? Trevor Noah's South African, and he sounds like he's British. As Charlize Theron, South African, sounds like she could be from Scranton or something. And then there's whatever that weird robot thing that Elon Musk does. I know he has a brother, but I've never heard his brother speak, so God knows what he sounds like.
Yeah. I was gonna say like there's another trailer that came out this week. It was the Venom 3 trailer. Pull that up for me, Kaylin.
Oh yeah, okay. I unfortunately did see that. Hell yeah, Mika. Yes, it's yeah. Look at that Ray transition. Yeah, I will. I have no excitement whatsoever, but we can take a little peek.
Yeah.
So, are you excited for this? Are you like into the Venom movies, Chris?
No, not really. But I'm doing this for Phantom X.
Oh, is he into the Venom movies?
Love you, Phantom.
Actually, I love the character ever since the Spider-Man cartoon. I own the Venom omnibus that contained like the first couple years of all of his early solo stuff. So yeah, I'm into the character. I actually like the first movie more than I thought I would. I still haven't seen the second one, and now this one. This is how they're celebrating 100 years of Columbia Pictures. Well, this and also Turner Classic Movies showing off Close Encounters a couple days ago.
So for me, it's like I like the first Venom movie. The second Venom movie was just god awful, and then like this one right here, it's like I don't think I might watch it. I don't know.
How do you go? How do you go up from Carnage being like the one major foe? Venom has like that one major foe he goes up against, or at least the one that people really remember. And you're gonna go from that to now that guy, the villain from Serenity, as some military guy. Bit of a step down.
It's just like, and there's no story really in Venom 2, and it doesn't seem to be much story in this. But I mean, we'll see. It's in the hood.
They want to make him part of the MCU so badly.
But the MCU is like worse than Sony now. By the time like
At least
I
people
don't
actually
know
go to
about
see
that
the
part.
Venom movies.
do
They
they?
go to
I mean,
see the
yeah, I
Venom
guess they
movies. They didn't see Madam Web. The best thing about Madam Web was Sydney Sweeney making fun of it on Saturday Night Live.
Who's gonna go see Venom 3 though? I don't see it doing well at all.
No,
I don't see it
you'd
either.
actually be surprised that Venom is Venom, like the Venom movies don't do good in the USA. It's like all around the world he does good. Like he gets
Well,
most of
that
his
first Venom,
money from outside of America.
the first Venom was like a bit short of $1 billion against like $150 million budget, so it got Sony something. They were smart to not spend too much on that.
Dark, an unpredictable side to me. Stop speaking.
I think he's a good actor. What's his name again? He plays
Tom Hardy.
Bane. Tom Hardy, right?
Tom
Yeah, I think
Hardy.
he's a good actor. He doesn't have much character in these movies.
Yeah, I didn't hate him as Mad Max, although they didn't. Although of course he was secondary in Fury Road.
Say when. When?
See, I think there's so much cooler stuff you could do with Venom than just kick him and he flies into the wall, right? Because like you're working with like a symbiote. Why? It just it
Well, and
seems so
also
lame.
remember, they're PG-13, so they can't have him be gory or as violent as even in the Marvel comics, where he would flat out kill people in grisly ways. But because these are always been PG-13, they can't do that.
I feel like that's
So,
a mistake on their side too, though, because like
like
Venom's
there
very
was a
niche
comic.
audience already.
Well,
Like
there was a comic in the 90s they did where it was Venom and the Punisher working together. And yeah, it was the Punisher. We all know what he likes to do. And then Venom, we know what he likes to do, but he's got an alien symbiote working with him. And yet then you put these you think that that kind of, kismet, that kind of kinship they'd have, that then they would understand, all right, that's why we got to do Venom this way. Like how all 3 different Punisher movies are all done by 3 different types of production companies and producers and all that, yet still they all maintained the Punisher, he's a dude who kills people. The only major difference is the first one, he doesn't have the skull shirt and also the specific details of how his family dies in the Lundgren version and the Thomas Jane version. The details are different, but still it's the guy who his family's killed by criminals, so he goes on crime, a war on crime.
I just feel like even
we
with a
all know that John
PG-13 rating,
Berthal's Punisher is the greatest one. Like John Berthal's, like that dude just killed it as Punisher. I love the TV show. I love season 1. Season 2, Go ahead, Caitlin.
even with that rating though, like PG-13, you could still do something cooler than just kick him and he flies across. It's so lame. Especially like
It's
Venom, like
generic.
symbiote, there's so much you could do, but there's no imagination. What's up, Vidal?
What's going on, guys?
Going on, Vidal,
Nice
man.
shirt, man.
Yeah, feeling patriotic today.
Oh yeah.
America.
Someone's celebrating D-Day. That's good. I got a little video for my channel members to see that City Hall where I live, they have a big mural for Korea and for Vietnam and for WW2.
Nice. That's what's up. We're just watching the Venom trailer, Vidal.
Oh yeah, Venom. I forgot this was. I didn't even know this was going to be a thing. I'm actually kind of surprised they're doing it, to be honest.
I have no interest whatsoever.
It's because it made the second one made a lot of money overseas.
Did it? Okay, I didn't. Yeah. I wasn't. It's crazy that I'm such a huge Venom comic guy, and I was especially big on him in the 90s when the Maximum Carnage series was coming out. But
yeah,
I mean, I didn't feel anything with this movie series or anything. I don't know what it was. It just didn't resonate.
What did you think of? What did you think of the comic where it's Venom and the Punisher crossing over in the 90s?
Shit like that I liked. I liked they were kind of going nuts, but I don't know. I feel like at some point, maybe it was Spider-Man 3. I kind of soured me on Venom in general. I felt like they didn't, remember what was his name who played
Eric from that 70s show, Topher Grace. He's your Venom.
Yeah,
oh, thank you.
That was it for me when it came to my Venom love affair. I was pretty much tapped out of Venom at that point.
Yeah,
perfectly understandable.
We got this tiny dude here with these 2 massive guns. And it looks like he's holding them by the clips too. Or I guess is that just the way it looks? That's strange.
Who is
I don't
that?
know.
That guy.
These are the Mexican thugs finna take me back to their crib.
Oh, okay. You guys are you're all in the middle of watching the trailer. I see.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Nothing interesting so far.
What?
See, yanking them around, it just seems so lame. Like opening with the kick, then like it's a symbiote. Like you could have them going inside. You could have like it taking over parts of their limbs and like moving around in them. It just seems pretty unimaginative.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't know why these movies just don't work for me. I don't know what it is. Because a Spider-Man-less Venom exists in the world of comics, right? And they work just fine. The Venom books are great. But for some reason in movies, I just don't feel that works. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't.
We all
right.
know that. We all know that Spider-Man is the main catch. Like, listen, the Venom is cool. Like, Dr. Octopus is cool. The Rhino, cool. Mysterio, cool. Goblin, cool. Dog. If it ain't got no Spider-Man, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
We're doing Madam Web. We're doing Madam Web.
Yes,
That's what we're doing. Fuck.
No,
No, at least Madam Web had Sydney Sweeney's, but what does this have?
Yeah,
And
they
then
try to
they
fuck
took
it
her
didn't
Sydney
up.
have
Sweeney.
that. It didn't
What they
even
did with
have
Sydney
that.
Sweeney was
They
they took
covered
her
it
and they
up.
turned her. All right, they had Sydney Sweeney, and then they turned her into what my mom looked like in college.
Right? They tried to take one of the hottest women on the planet and modern day her ass. They hit her with the modern audience stick. And I mean, like, how dare you? You know, like one of the only things that could have fucking saved that movie were the way these women look, you know, and they fucked that up completely.
They did some severe breast binding on her worthy of Barbara Streisand and Yentl. When I saw Sydney Sweeney like that, all I could think of was, when is she going to start singing Papa, Can You Hear Me? I want to know if Sydney Sweeney can sing.
It was painful.
The thing is, like, Dakota Johnson, like, she, like, as good looking as she is, man, like, she just gave up. She's like, man, what are we doing here? Like,
I don't think she was ever in tune with the movie. I mean, everything I saw about her going into it, I don't think she was ever really interested. She just, you know, for actors, the Marvel movie is just a payday. She thought she was getting into the MCU, from what I understand. And I guess once she realized they were doing a Sony film and it was its own separate thing, she was done.
I want to know how did you do a movie about nothing? They managed to make a 1 hour movie about nothing. Nothing was going on. There was no plot. The villain is not memorable. Like, they don't even get into costumes. Like, what are we doing here? And it was all a flash. It was all in the future. Like, you get the costumes because they're in the future. Other than that, and the main character gets killed by product placement. He gets killed by a Pepsi sign.
The Pepsi sign, yeah. That, I don't know. I don't know how Sony's green lighting shit like this. I don't know what they were thinking.
Considering this is, at one point, this was the same studio that did the Charlie's Angels movies with Cameron Diaz. Just watch those and squint a little so that you think you're looking at the Spider-Man women.
You know what's crazy? That
at least with the Charlie's Angels ones, they kept it true to the Angels. Not this. This was hot ass. That was just hot ass. Oh man. All right.
Charlie's Angels was at least fun, and it was kind of like self-aware of how stupid it was. It never took itself too serious. But these
with the women that would try to say that movie was so male gaze, so sexist. Yeah, is that why Drew Barrymore was the producer on the film and that she was the one who got it made?
Yeah, I mean, what was her name? Diaz, the blonde.
Cameron Diaz.
Yes. She was game for all that, man. She loved that type of attention. She didn't mind. I mean, come on. She was a sex pot in the 90s.
She used to be a how can I say it? An actress late at night. So yeah, she was used to that
I didn't
stuff.
know that. I didn't even know that about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz, there was this famous nude S&M photo spread she did before The Mask launched her acting career. And funny just detail about that was that then her lawyer started going on the photographer who released that video, and he kept on saying, "Oh no, I have her model release." But then there was a legal investigation into it. It turns out the model release that she supposedly signed was forged from a guy copying autographed 8x10s of her off the internet. And yeah, the model release was a forged signature. So they were able to nail that guy to the wall for releasing this.
Wow. I didn't know that. I never even
I didn't even know that about.
I became aware of her the same time I think everyone else did. The Mask she was fucking top 10 gorgeous in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I developed a new appreciation for The Mask at age 13.
And you can't forget about Lucy Liu now, man. Like Lucy Liu, like
I like Lucy.
I mean, I don't because she went to my father's alma mater, and one of my newer regulars in my streams, was in the graduating class at U of M with her. So, oh yeah, class of '92.
Okay,
so what, you got like a rap beef with her or something?
Like, cause I love Lucy Liu and Kill Bill, man. Like Kill Bill 2. I loved her in that. And then like when I saw her in Charlie's Angels, I loved her in that. And like yeah, she knows she's good for the culture.
I watched Ally McBeal because of her.
Ally McBeal.
Speaking of beautiful women, Sydney Sweeney has actually made a political statement going into this summer to counter all the negative stuff happening.
No way. That's gotta be shopped, right? I mean, it's gotta be.
That's Photoshop, and it's pretty bad. And whoever did that should like stop, like get another day job.
I don't know. I mean,
you better be careful browsing Twitter, brother.
Bro, you gotta be careful, man.
There is proof out there that she did do something that's almost as political as wearing a shirt like that, and she bought a house in Florida. We know that in Hollywood they're supposed to hate the state of Florida, but she just spent $20 million on a home down there.
Yep, her and Sylvester Stallone too. Proudly.
This is what, like, I didn't care about Sydney Sweeney or anything about this until like she actually like I became a fan of her when she ended up being a troll. When she got that T-shirt saying like she loves her breasts and everything, I was like, because that one lady said that she was ugly and overrated or whatever, and then she just responded back with a picture like that. I said, "Oh, she's a troll."
Mm-hmm. That picture said more than she needed, than 1,000 words could have ever said. I mean, come on.
One picture says more than 1,000 words.
I saw a video of her working on a car, and that's what won me over. I was like, oh shit, she's a real one. She's like a tomboy in the hot bod.
But remember, we've been burned by ladies like that before. I mean, did the Jennifer Lawrence phenomenon? Let's not all forget about that. So you know how Hollywood likes to work on its women that way. So
I knew she was phony from the start because from the jump she was connected to Weinstein, and all those people were kind of handpicked. So I knew that was I never fell for Jennifer Lawrence's game. I knew she was full of shit.
It's kind of crazy because like Anne Hathaway used to be the opposite. Like she used to be like I hate all men, and now like since she like I'm assuming when she got married, like she's like she chilled out or whatever. So
well, she has a son. I know that she has a son, and so far she hasn't done any like creepy gender shit with her son, unlike David Tennant or Naomi Watts or Adele. So there's that to think about.
Yeah, they're all doing it.
Yeah, like
now,
she kind of like chilled out, like because I remember Anne Hathaway just used to be a bitch for no reason, man. Like, dude, who did it? Who's spinning your cereal, man? Like, what's going on here? Why are you so rude?
What's up, Zax? Got to talk some Game of Thrones with Zax last night. It was a nice stream because listen, we got House of the Dragon season 2 coming up. I think in like 2 weeks. So that's gonna be nice. We also have The Boys season 4 next week as well. It's like 2 good shows to counter the Acolyte's poison.
Oh, it's gonna take me months to get that shit out of my system, man.
Well, when I was live last night, I was asking people. Well, I mean, last night when I was live, I was even telling people, or asking them, which old Star Trek stuff did you like? Like, name your favorite episodes from each of the different shows. Because instead of continuing to dance on the grave of Discovery or gripe over that, let's just focus on what we actually enjoyed about it and pay attention to that stuff instead of continuing to brood about Brave New Worlds or Discovery or whatever. Although I will say, that they were very stupid and short-sighted people when they came up with a title for the show and did not stop to realize that the initials spell out STD.
Yeah. fitting for the show that's
Speaking
gonna
of
burn
STDs, so I only watched episode 1 of The Acolyte because I couldn't push forward. Chris watched 2 episodes. Biddle, did you watch 1 or 2 episodes?
I got through both. I did it in one shot. Well, kinda. It took me all day to get through the episodes. Like I watched it in like 5-minute intervals, bro. I could not do more than that at a time.
This dude's been eating the Jedi.
It was
taco,
seriously
So
bad.
can you confirm, is this an actual entity from episode 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
the fat Jedi. Somehow.
What gender is this?
Everybody can be
Mexican.
No, Kaylin, everybody can be a Jedi. Like, it doesn't matter how big you are, it doesn't matter how black you are, it doesn't matter how gay you are. Anybody can be a Jedi. Hey, and guess what? Star Wars is getting even more progressive. They stopped the Asian hate. You got more Asians in this one. Like,
I will say this, to be fair. I'm not sure his name, the Asian actor, the lead. I do think he's the best part of the show. And I say that with like he's the only part of the show that I feel like could have fit in with the prequels of the 90s, early 2000s. Like his character could have worked in that world. But the rest of the cast is just terrible, man. Especially the lead, the twins, or whatever, the girl playing the twins. She's fucking terrible.
Do you say she? Whoa.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, Kaylin. I got your channel struck again. That's my bad.
Speaking of having your channel struck, Johnny's here. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, how's everybody? Sorry I'm late.
No worries.
Yeah,
Johnny, did you watch The Acolyte?
Nope.
Good, don't. Oh, shoot. Speaking of The Acolyte, we have a suicide hotline person calling in right now. Franklin says he's watching it right now. Franklin, look, you came to the right place to ask for help.
Dude.
Turn it off.
Caleb,
Cut it off right now
Caleb,
and don't give it your attention, please.
We can't help that, man. There's no helping
Caleb,
anyone
you can't
watching
stay-
this shit.
If you really think there's, if you really believe there's no hope because of a Star Wars show, if you really think that there's no hope because of a Star Wars show, I'll take you to the west side of the city of Detroit where I live, and believe me, it will shock you back into life. And I think, well, at least I'm not that. Go ahead, have the Acolyte all you want. That nightmare, well, at least it's not. At least it's not there. At least it's not Harlem or something.
Well, as a New Yorker, I can concur with your statement there. I feel that anybody who's defending the show is doing so out of obligation to the cause. I don't feel that the fans really feel that it's as good as they say. I don't believe them at all.
What fans? I'm waiting for Drizzy's next video so I can see the so-called fans.
If you like bad stuff, that's fine. Just acknowledge that it's bad. Like, that's all I always tell you. Like, just acknowledge that it's bad.
My problem comes with the fact that they never just take the L or just say, "Hey, but I like it." It's always their point of reference always comes from trying to trash what came prior, right? Oh, well, Lucas used to do this all the time. Look, how is Mary Sue? How is Rey and Mary Sue, but not Anakin? And like, are you fucking serious? If you're a real fan, you're not doing that. You're not trying to tear down the original.
First of all, Anakin like lost a lot of things before he became Darth Vader. Like,
they don't understand. They don't understand the difference. They can't process why one is like. They tell me I need to watch this stuff so I could know it's. How do I know it's bad before watching it? Right? I got a lot of that. And it's like, I don't need to be.
All they say is they see gender, they see race, they see, but like Mike says, bonus points if it's fat and gay.
They don't care. They don't care about any prior facts at all. They don't care. They made it clear how much they despise white people, straight people, the nuclear family, etc. And they just want to cater to the minority.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Like, Star Wars is not for white people.
They're not catering to the minorities. We're minority. Me and Chris represent minorities right now. We don't feel represented in that show. They're not doing that. They're doing this for the white liberal college chicks who think they're saving us. They think we're their pets or something, and we need to be spoken up for. And that's their audience. Those are the people trying to attack me on Twitter right now for my opinions. You know, it's fucking nuts. Like,
they want to keep you in a little purse and say, "Look, here's my minority."
About Star Wars. Oh, go ahead, Luke.
No, I'm saying, yeah, they're the kind of people that want to keep like the minority in their little purse, like it's Paris Hilton with one of her little Chihuahua dogs.
Yeah, that's
It should
how.
be like a
That's how they
South Park thing. I could imagine them doing that, like a purse, and you got like a little black girl, and then like a little trans and a little gay, and they've got them lined up. And it's like, who's? Oh, and then Kenny comes in, and he's like, oh, I got the new one, and it's like the fat one. And that's-
Well, they basically just did with the Into the Pandaverse. That it's still hilarious. And Bob Iger's like this, and Bob Iger's like that, and then the stock is going down like that. And it's like no.
oh,
was
Biddle,
all-
you got a fan here. Oh shit, it's Super Ninja.
Espada. Yeah, he's a buddy of mine.
Any movie
Oh,
or
boy.
series that does the pan virtue signaling and attack us for our skin color is already an instant loss for me. But Star Wars has been a loss since the firing and mistreatment of Gina Carano.
No, it goes before that, man. That was it. We lost the day they signed the fucking before the ink dried. We lost.
Yeah,
Sure.
On that signature, because they were already planning to move Lucas's plans into the trash. It was never going to be what we wanted it to be.
Go like look at the picture with George Lucas and Bob Iger, bro, and it looked like George was like knew what he was about to do. Like he was like
he just fucked the fat chick and he fucking regretted it immediately. He had that look on his face like, oh shit, there's a camera here. It was bad.
Yeah.
We knew it from the start, bro. They were playing. They massaged him as much as they could to get him to play ball.
Yeah.
There was never a plan to play with Lucas's ideas. It was never in the works. They just fucking jerked them off so that he could sign the paper. Once it was out of his hands, they phased him out. And you could hear it when he talks about Star Wars now. He sounds like an ex-boyfriend, like a bitter ex. He wants to congratulate them professionally, but you hear him gritting his teeth the whole time. Yeah, they're doing great. It's like
maybe it all ended
hey, George
right
Lucas
after
is
the
gonna
last
come through that
Jedi.
door.
Right after the last
Yeah.
Jedi is when it started to fail.
And I mean,
That's
well,
when we
like
started
Franklin
to
said,
wake
they
up to
want
their
to
shit.
convert us. Like the whole point of this, why Star Wars is so important, why media is so important, is because it inspires people, right? And it can inspire people positively or negatively, and change people's minds and make us go, "Hey, we should chop this off and chop that off." And it's just they're playing with us, you know. And it sucks.
Propaganda.
Because we're supposed to be entertained, escapism, but no, it's just propaganda.
Right.
Hail, Dylan. Well. Fancy meeting you all here. How's it going? It's going poorly,
just-
dude. We just watched The Acolyte. It sucks.
I just want to say this. Whoever thought in their bright mind need to tell Leslie Headland, like, listen, you don't know what a murder mystery is. Oh, it's supposed to be a murder mystery. Like, it's not a murder mystery. You gave the plot away. You gave the plot away within the trailer. You basically gave us like, oh, they're twins. Like, I saw it in the first 2 seconds. Oh, they're twins. Was that supposed to be the plot twist? Like,
they kept spoiling their own fucking suspense moments. They never let anything like actually be breathed, right? Every time there was a mystery moment or a moment you thought would cause tension, right? Like when she killed the Jedi, when she poisoned the guy in the second episode, and then immediately, like they all assumed it was the girl. I forget her name, the lead character. And they didn't even let the scene breathe. It was like 2 minutes later, they revealed, oh, the other Jedi guy saw her enter the room and he saw that she didn't kill the guy. So they immediately killed that, whatever could have come from that scene. It's like, why even set it up? What was the point in even setting that scene up to accuse her of potentially assassinating this Jedi? If you were literally going to just say, no, she didn't do it. 20 seconds after they accused her, of doing it. Like
they do the same thing in episode 1. When we introduced the Asian dude, the Asian dudes. Listen. The Asian dude's like when the non-binary green thing comes in. The Asian dude's like, the twin died in the fire. I saw it. And Jedi's supposed to be able to sense things, right? So he would know if she died, and he said she died. So it doesn't make any sense because he should know. He should be able to sense that. But then the next scene, when he goes and stops her from falling off the cliff, she says, "My sister's alive," and he says, "I know." And there's been nothing connecting between the last scene where he said she's dead. So
you had 5 minutes. You had less than 5 minutes to make me believe that there was going to be a mystery there, and they immediately ruined it. They did it in both episodes. They did that. It's fucking nuts. She's a terrible writer, Leslie Headland. She has no business in that room.
The way I would have redone that scene is like instead of showing her like killing the person, you could have just cut it off right there, and then like pick it back up when the next episode is saying like, "Oh, you did this," or whatever. Then that would have been a bit better. You know, saying like, you know, kept it open ended or whatever. But no, this is they don't know how to write. Like they gotta just stop doing. And then the deal. I need to ask you this.
Dylan, my brain's
How do you
okay. I
feel
didn't
that
watch
the
a minute
fact
of this
that
crap.
Leslie Helen is basically making this
Luke's
story about her and her sister or whatever? Like, what do you think about that?
It has. She doesn't have the acting chops to make me believe these are two different women. For one, you can't make that work unless I believe that visually. How is it possible that they both look exactly the same exact hairstyle, same mannerisms when they speak, same cadences, no difference in tone, no difference in energy, and they're both kind of anti-heroes, right? They're already establishing the Sith girl as a sympathetic villain in the first scene, right after she kills Trinity. Right after she kills Trinity, she spares the barkeep because she has a child. And
That's so funny. No, she goes after him. She's like, yeah, and this giant 7 foot tall, muscular alien barkeep's like, and the 5 foot tall girl.
In a
like,
way,
yeah.
this kind of like Obi-Wan, the
Reva,
series. Yeah, because like the Sith is never sympathetic, and they're just trying to pander. They're just trying to do the same thing with you're trying to sympathize with the villain, and it's once again like we don't have old-fashioned villains where they're insane, just pure bad people, and they want to make bad guys good guys generally, you know.
Yep, and the
Oh,
Jedi
they
are
don't even know
being
what a
set
good
up
guy
to
is
be
anymore.
the villains. They are setting up the Jedi.
It is
to be
propaganda,
villains.
just like in real life now, because
They can't write
criminals
characters.
The
But
Jedi.
like Franklin says, what do you expect? They can't keep their story straight because they're not straight.
That's a good joke.
On Pride Month, Franklin, come on.
Hey, where's the
I want to
lie
say
though?
the other word, but I want to say
All
the
right,
other
everybody. I gotta
We
head
will
out
not
a
use
little
any
early.
middle
I've got other things to do. I've got to get my stream ready and all that.
Oh yeah, guys,
it
I'm
was
gonna
short,
link
man,
to,
but it was sweet talking to you, man.
to Luke's channel in the chat for guys. Go give Luke a sub. He does art. He creates stunning artwork. You're working on a comic book right now, Luke. Isn't that correct?
Yes, it's a science fiction adventure called Intrepids, much more involved in discovering new life, something closer to 2001 or Contact or Star Trek than anything with laser blasts. There's not a single weapon fired. There's no villain. It's all about discovering new life. It's all about the first mission into the heart of the sun. And it's 3 7 of 9 looking level hot space babes doing it.
Hell yes. Jerry Ryan. She's a goddess. Hey, Luke, I want to say something to you before you go. You mentioned Star Trek real quick. Just, I don't want to stick on this because I know you got to go, but I'm actually starting a Star Trek channel that will do exactly what you said very soon. I'm going to be focusing on everything pre-J.J. Abrams era Trek.
I like it already.
We're not even going to, I mean, unless there's a demand for it, but I will definitely keep separation between modern Trek and classic Trek.
Like church and state.
I just feel like we do focus a lot on the negative, and I prefer to remember Star Trek for what it was. Same for Star Wars. If I had a choice, I'd rather be talking about Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi than this bullshit. But here we are. We got to vent.
We gotta distract ourselves. I mean, Luke's listening to an audiobook right now, right, Luke? Are you?
Oh yes, that's a nice little audiobook that may or may not make a good comic. It may be an interesting story to see in visual form that I could draw.
I'll see what happens. I'll have
Yeah,
the
one of
links
these
to those lovely audiobooks in the chat for you guys too if you want to check them out. But thanks so much for coming on, Luke. Guys, go subscribe to his channel, and he's doing a stream tonight. Thank you, Luke, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Live long and
For
prosper.
sure.
Good to meet you. Yeah.
All right, I fucked Luke's link up like 5 times, but it's actually in the chat now, I think. So we'll see. But unfortunately, back to the Acolyte.
Unfortunately.
So, tell me about Acolyte. What is it supposed to be, and what era does it take place in?
What this pretty much sums it up right here. The Acolyte,
It's gay.
episode 1. It is the
the
era
High
of the High
Republic.
Republic, a time where there are no white males. The Jedi use the pronouns they, them, and carry
Oh,
pink lightsaber lassos. Enter the magical world of the Acolyte, set 100 years before the real Star Wars movies, but containing modern-day themes.
Somebody. All right, I thought that was real.
Yeah, it is real. Trust me, it's as
No,
real
no.
as
Did
it
they
gets.
really type that? Did they really type that? Is that in the show?
It could have been,
No,
and I don't
It
think
is if you
anybody
want
was
it to
batting
be.
an eye.
Oh my gosh! Like
It-
they're really
that-
not hiding it.
That it sums it up in a nutshell. They're framing the I mean, we talked about this yesterday. We were saying that the prequels, in their own way, set up the Jedi to be somewhat flawed, right? We saw how their mistakes led to the birth of the Empire, or Anakin's descent into Darth Vader, right? But at no point when you watch the prequels do the Jedi seem malicious or I don't want to say incompetent. Rather, they were dealing with a chess player at a higher level, right? Palpatine was just better, and he had things figured out, and he was playing them. But this frames the Jedi like fucking morons. The men are constantly made one up by the women, of course, right? Like even the Padawan was dismissing the battle plan of the fucking Jedi Knight in the second episode when they were planning to capture the Sith chick. The Jedi guy explains his plan, and he's a knight. He supposedly just got knighted, and she immediately dismisses his plan and says, "We're going to do it this way." And they go with the Padawan's plan. I'm like, of course they did. She's a woman, and this is Star Wars 2024, and this is
No, it's Disney Star Wars. That's all there is to it.
Because the thing is, if that was Anakin, like Obi-Wan would have shut that down. You say, "What did you just say?" Like,
you can't
master.
talk to a fucking Jedi Knight like that. She cut him off. She said, "Okay, and we could not do that and do this instead." She said it almost just like that. What?
Because you know what they would have said. Well, Anakin did it in the second film, but Anakin got instantly corrected.
They
like
checked
right
his
then
ass.
and there.
Yes, they checked it, Crease. You're 100% right. Anytime Anakin got out of line, Obi-Wan put his ass down. He said, "Yo, chill. I don't care if we're in front of guests. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna respect my authority." And there is none. There's no hierarchy. There's no like you can tell the writers have no sense of what a military structure is or how that works.
They're a matriarch.
Oh, of course.
They want to take charge, and again, it goes to their political messaging. They want to put down the white man.
The blue milk. It was
the blue milk.
The blue milk made him
drink
gay.
the blue milk.
Oh, that's good.
Do not drink the blue milk.
Yeah, do not drink the blue milk.
The blue milk is making the Jedi gay. There is one white man in the Jedi Order in this, and he
committed suicide.
He commits suicide, and he.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's a.
At least it's accurate, I guess.
He's made to look very powerful at the beginning, right? She can't beat this guy, so what she does is she gives him an offer to forgive him for some sin he committed, or confess his crimes to the Jedi Council.
You know what that subliminal is, though.
We know.
It's
not subtle. Confess to your transgressions, or confess to the, or get basically kneel to me.
Announce your privilege. Denounce your privilege.
Denounce your privilege. And he hasn't, apparently he's not spoken to a single fucking person in 10 years. And after she says that to him, he says, "I've been waiting for you for so long," and then drinks the fucking poison and kills himself. That's it. This great Jedi Master who was so guilt-ridden, literally white guilt-ridden to such a degree that he felt the only way to course correct was to murder himself. In Minecraft.
Is that really supposed to like motivate people to get excited for Star Wars like this? Hell no. I would never think a kid would like that idea at all.
No.
Dude,
somebody from a BLM rally might.
Oh no, this is horrible.
They already said that Gen Z and Generation Alpha doesn't care about Disney products. Like there's been articles already. Like they don't care. Like everybody's going somewhere else. They're going to the East. They're going to anime. That's what it is. Like, it's not my opinion. It's just the truth.
We're
And
losing
it's such
members
an
of the
unfortunate
chat to the
truth.
blue
Like
milk.
America, right? We're a massive country. Like we're pretty much the size of Europe, pretty much. And we can't even sustain our own media, where people have to go and watch gay ass anime instead. It's pathetic, and it's
Okay,
something needs to change.
we're Kaylin. We are
First of
not going to
all,
go down this fucking
but we're not
direction.
going
All
through this
right, you're
again.
not.
You got shut down the last 2 times, so
You keep going there with this shit. It's like you got
you
this
keep on going
fucking
there,
Matt
like.
Walsh
But then
ass
again,
take with
you
this shit.
you never learn anyway. So like, I will be happy to whoop your ass again. It's perfectly fine and everything. You do this every week, but yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're just wrong.
Kaylin, I love you, but the right have lost the culture war because of takes like that. We cannot allow that mindset to win here. We have to end that because it's the lack of it's not recognizing that anime is based as fuck. It's based as fuck, bro. They're unapologetically based. There's so much tits and ass in anime. They don't care. They don't care if the Western folks feel offended by their curse words or their use of racial allegories. They don't care. They don't
care.
The political correctness does not exist in that world, and we used to have that here.
Now, I'll say this: have the Japanese gotten better at what they have done? Like they kind of notice, like, okay, when we make minorities in different countries, okay, we can see it your way. We'll make them look like actual people this time and everything. They have changed. Because you know what I'm talking about, Vidal. Like you see what they
us colored folk weren't favored so well in animations.
Speaking of what he said,
but they gotten better. Like they say, like, okay, like now that you think about it, that is offensive. Like we'll make it better or whatever. So and that's what the great thing about anime is. It's like they'll acknowledge their mistakes, they'll work on it, but they're not changing it for you. They're changing it because like they acknowledge as a human being, we were wrong on that. We'll change it up or whatever. So
I see Kaylin's point though. He wants America to lead again, and I get that. But I think as Americans, we have to recognize that we lost because we got so full of our own shit.
Yeah.
And we allowed these fucking I don't even want to call them liberals anymore because you got
people like crazy people like Galvin McGinnis talking about like freaking anime fans are pedophiles and everything, like stuff like that. Like that's crazy. Like it's not true. Like you can't.
He's a classic. He's a classic Republican, right? Like the classic Republican stance was always anti-video game, anti-anime, anything fun, really. Like that was when I was growing up, the Republican Party seemed like the most dull fucking group of people.
And it still is. And it still is.
It's sad at the top, right? You occasionally get a charismatic character like Trump in there, but he's not even really like they're only fucking with him because he took over. He forced them to bow to his fucking power and his charisma, right? But they hated his ass when he got there. So let's be real. Trump is not even a true Republican, right? He is his own entity, and I believe he represents the unspoken kind of middle that we all used to be, right? Some of us, I used to be. I was
left.
Hard liberal.
Right.
Yeah. I was a hard liberal, right? And I was like pro Obama, pro Bernie, whatever. Everybody comes to wake up eventually at one point or another. Once I came around and seeing Trump was actually like the most honest among thieves, I had to concede, like, oh shit, he represents that old liberal, like the original liberals, like that used to be about like art and fun and sex and entertainment, real entertainment, not lecturing motherfuckers and homo shit every week. Like the liberals have moved so far left. They're not liberals. They're communists. It's a different breed. We call them liberals, but they're not liberals. That meaning doesn't apply to them at all.
They're deranged leftists that have lost their everlasting mind. Because I was saying the same thing, like with the conservatives, like their thing is so like far to the right where it's like really religious based and everything, to where like, dude, like as a person that believes in God and Jesus, like, dude, I'm not that far away to where like you can't have fun either. Like, come on, man. Like, it has to be a
those people are
Yeah.
few and far between. I feel like we don't got a lot of those
Yeah.
hard right liberal, like, or
Yeah.
Republicans rather. Like we do at the top, but I mean at our
Yeah.
level, like outside of
Yeah.
politics, I feel like most people on the right today are far more sensible than that, right? Like
Yeah.
I'll use Melanie Mack as an example as a super conservative. She's very openly Christian, right? But she's not sitting here
Yeah.
saying ban the games, ban this, ban
Yeah.
that. She
'Cause
openly
she likes to
speaks
have
against
fun,
these
too.
things. She understands like
Yeah.
these things need to exist to some degree, but she's not afraid to say, "Hey, homophobia in my book is all right because the shit is wrong in my book," and she stands
Yeah.
on that. She will live and die by that. To me, that's a real fucking like true right wing Republican, like classic.
I'm
you
open
know,
like that
in my-
too,
Yeah.
even though I'm not religious or believer. I am. She inspired me to actually say those things on Twitter and stuff because I can't stand what's going on, and like I think we're all just fed up with it.
Just don't
And
stand over here.
I know. There was
we're on
another word I
YouTube.
wanted to say, and I didn't say it. You know, I couldn't say it. But, yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I stand. Look, I live in New York, and this is the most liberal city next to fucking LA, right? So, and my best friend is as
Yeah.
gay as they fucking come, and I grew up with this guy, so we understood he was gay before we even knew what that even meant. So I don't have hatred
Yeah.
for homosexuals in my heart at all. I don't give a fuck. To me,
Yeah.
he's just as annoying as any of my straight friends, and I roast them accordingly. You know what I mean? There's a balance.
Yeah.
The problem is the agenda stuff.
Yeah.
We have regressed as a nation because of entertainment like
Mhm.
this. We regress racially. We regress in regards to this sexual stuff. I mean, it's like I feel like it's hitting so hard now that it is annoying people who were even okay with it before.
Yeah.
Like there was so much unity in the late 90s and early 2000s. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yep.
That felt like a golden age compared to now. That's not nostalgia.
It was the golden age, baby.
It just
was the
felt
golden age.
like these issues were not discussed. Me and Kreese, if we were
Yeah.
hanging out in public, it would have never came up that he was black for any fucking reason, unless it was a joke, right? Like it was like if it was a joke, it was always in good, like raunchy, fucked up humor was okay.
Yeah.
Nobody was gonna write a goddamn boss or call your fucking supervisor and get you canceled. Like this shit came out of nowhere. Once we started rewarding the tattletales and the snitches, it got too safe
like-
for these fucking pussies to come up with their agendas, and we stopped beating them up.
Because I was gonna say, like, it started to get weirder. Like entertainment, like it was creeping in around like 2012-ish or whatever. And then, like, you know, when it hit 2016, when that orange man took office, that's when everything just went to, like, you know,
everyone
you're
learned
a bigot.
Everyone learned what bigot and
you're
narcissism
racist, you're a
meant at the
sellout,
same time.
all that. Yeah.
I never saw the words bigot and narcissist on my feeds, Facebook or otherwise, before 2016. It's like they all heard of the word at the same time. Like it was entered into the cultural zeitgeist, and they all learned it at the same time, and they've never let it go.
Yeah. And now it's like overused, and now it's irrelevant because it has
lost
no
its
more
power.
merit.
It doesn't mean
No one knows what it
anymore.
means, right? And
Well,
now
we
I
knew
mean,
what it meant, but they destroyed the.
No one knows what it means now. Like you'll see videos of like these college girls saying, "Oh, what do you hate about Trump? Oh, he's a bigot." And it's like, well, what does it mean? Why do you like Biden?
And they
What
can never
is the
say
difference?
why. They can never tell you why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can-
Oh, then they're just
Or
they're just
like-
repeating talking points from the media.
I mean, you
My
can
thing-
ask me
my
right
thing
now,
is this-
why do you not like Biden? And I can show you right here. Should this man be in the presidency office?
Oh yeah, I saw this.
He looks
Tim
like he's
Pool was
finna
making
fall
it
over.
hilarious on describing what is he doing.
Is he trying to sit? There's no chair there. Holy shit.
He's going down. Look at that. He goes
There's
down.
no chair. I thought he was trying to sit.
Who knows what he's doing?
Yeah.
Who knows
Well,
what he's doing?
my main thing is this, and Videla knows what I'm talking about. Like back in the day, when you was called a racist, or if you was called like a like you know a homophobe, or if you was called like an actual sellout or something like that, that had meaning back in the day.
It
Like
hurt,
you took
yeah.
that personally. you took that personally. Now when you get called a racist, a homophobe, or a sellout, you're saying like, oh, I guess I'm doing the right thing. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, because when it actually, like, the thing is, there are actually cases of actual racism still happening. There's actual cases of stuff, homophobia is actually happening, not to a big degree, but when it's like the boy that cried wolf. Like, when is it eventually when it actually happens, no one's gonna believe you because like you've been saying it so many times and we don't know. So
Right.
it's crazy.
So then the consequences will be on you when you realize it's too late and you've overdone the calling, and now it's gonna fall on your head. So yeah.
I don't even think they realize how weak their words are now. I don't think they
It's
think
just another meaning of I disagree with you. They changed the meaning now.
Yeah, I think I don't think they'll realize that they did this to themselves, because accountability requires reflection and inner, soul searching. And the reason we're here is because these people aren't doing that. They're not capable of this. It's easier. You've been conditioned. You've been told from day one that everyone else around you is your enemy, and this is their fault. And this guy did this to you, and this is why you're like this. It's never, hey, maybe it's me, because God forbid it is, right? They can't handle that. It's self-deletion right away. That's always their first fucking response to everything.
When they
Because the thing is, that they're trying to change the word racism now. Like, they're literally trying to change the word racism. Like, they're trying to change it to where whoever has the most power is racist and everything. It makes no sense. Like,
Biden was shitting himself. I think he was.
Only ones that are against their agendas, only that are standing against them. We are the racists. We are the bigots. We're the enemy. Yeah. So
well, language. They've been trying to control language for a long time, and it's been obvious now, especially with the pronouns thing, right? So controlling language is important for them because they can define what the laws are based on that. So look how much they keep pushing. Like, sooner or later, if we're in Canada trying to have this conversation, all of us are going to jail, right? How long do you think before they're trying to push those laws here? They're already doing it. They're trying little by little. It's death by 1,000 pokes, right? Or 1,000 pecks, right?
And people are catching further, like Aspadia, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, says the words to become watered down, the bite isn't there as it used to be. Like, you could, like, maybe 5 years ago saying, oh, he's racist, that meant something. Now it's like, oh,
I might have felt threatened by that. Yeah. I might have panicked if someone said you're this or that. I might have felt guilt because I can't, like, I think we all know in our hearts we're not trying to be. We certainly don't intend that. But that's why they'll try to gaslight you and say, well, that's because you've been programmed to think all this bullshit. And it's like, yeah, maybe I just don't want to be a victim, man. Maybe I just believe like it's like, dude, I don't think of myself as a bad person. When I see let's like stereotypes exist. I do believe stereotypes exist for a reason. Whether I agree with them or not is irrelevant. Whether they apply to every situation is irrelevant. We all based our beliefs on things on patterns. Pattern recognition is nature's, like, it's just a natural thing. You know what I mean? We recognize patterns. We're human. That is human nature. Even animals understand pattern recognition. So that's where fucking stereotypes and shit come from. But we're supposed to believe that they don't have any. We're supposed to believe that culture, right, is important to every person of that distinction, right? But we're not supposed to acknowledge patterns. We're not supposed to acknowledge commonalities, or it's contradictory.
That's why I just wish that this comedian was still alive. I wish R&P to Ralphie May. If Ralphie May was still alive, man, he would have been having a field day today. Like, if you guys haven't seen a comedian that didn't care about political correctness, you need to go watch Ralphie May's old videos, man. He was the dude. Like, everything that we're talking about today, he talked about that in the mid 2000s, bro, and it's freaking hilarious. He's freaking hilarious, man.
We do have 2 shows that might actually be good coming up next week. I know Teresa's a big fan of The Boys, so you'll be looking forward to The Boys season 4. Johnny and Riddle, have you guys watched The Boys?
I have not watched The Boys. I think by the time The Boys was coming around, I was already sort of comic booked out. So, but then I started hearing it was pretty good, and then I started hearing it wasn't so good. like around third season.
Yeah, it's I know me and
Yeah.
Chris have differing opinions. I think season 1's really good. I think seasons 2 and 3 have some really good elements, but there's also some really bad cringe stuff in them. I am optimistic about season 4 though. I'll definitely be watching it. And I hope it's good, you know. We also have the house season 2 of House of the Dragon. Have you guys seen season 1? I know Chris hasn't.
I never gave it a shot. I think
Okay.
Game of Thrones.
Do you see Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones left such a shit stain on the world that I maybe regrettably I mean it's not too late for me, I guess, to try House of the Dragon. I just kept safe.
I recommend it to anyone in chat too. House of the Dragon's fantastic.
I was shocked. I was shocked to hear it, to be honest. I mean, it went up with Lord of the Rings toe to toe, and I couldn't believe what people were saying. They were like,
I'll wait until everything on House of Dragons is done on season 1, and then read reviews, and then watch it. Then because,
season 1's been out for like 2 years, Johnny.
Yeah, they're on season 2 now. That's what's dropping.
Oh, I see. Well, it's because I did not watch season 8 of Game of Thrones because Jeremy was reviewing how it totally ruined every opportunity to have redemption on some characters and opportunities to kill the bad characters. But
season 7 was just as bad. Season 7 fucked it all up.
I stopped at season 7. There's some moments I enjoyed, but you know, when I heard that they didn't kill the bad guys in a way that I would have liked, then it just sounded like it was a missed opportunity, and I'm not interested. So,
and not just that, but like every single plot line went to a dead end. It was awful.
It was. I mean, Game of Thrones in general is really bizarre. Of course, there's so many bizarre, weird scandals happening, but that was intentional, right?
I'm sorry, I cut you off, Johnny. I just want to know how long was House of the Dragon? Like, is it a long series or is it short?
Oh yeah, it's 10 episodes, 10-hour-long episodes.
Hour long?
Is it an hour long?
Yes, season 2 is only gonna be 8 episodes though, which I'm not quite sure.
I might give it a go. I need.
But yeah, Vidal,
something good to
Franklin's
watch.
gonna give you his Max account so you can watch House of the Dragon.
Okay.
He might be making some assumptions.
The one thing I never get tired of is the intro of Game of Thrones.
It's so good, and they repurposed it for House of the Dragon as well. It's really
cool.
nice.
So the intro sounds the same.
It's very similar. It's like they changed some slight things.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
That was one thing I always loved about Star Trek. I think all the themes are great, but they're not the same, but they sound like they belong in the same family almost. And it gives me hope when I keep comparing Star Trek to Game of Thrones situation, because Game of Thrones ended so poorly. Star Trek had like this horrible time for years. And then out of nowhere, they just had a brilliant season at the very end. They just somehow they redeemed the last season of Picard when everything else, was trash. And it just seemed impossible because they did so much damage. Did Game of Thrones ruin it so much that do you think that they couldn't redeem themselves? I was of the belief that they couldn't.
And then they did.
And then
it helps that it's so disconnected too, because it's like thousands of years before, so it's like almost entirely unrelated.
Acolyte should have done that.
It was shocking.
Just like how
Acolyte should have done that.
Just like how we all believed how Star Wars could be saved if they had just fired Kathleen Kennedy, and we were waiting for that to happen before we finally gave up on Star Wars. And that's why after The Last Jedi, I did not watch the 9th movie, and then I enjoyed The Mandalorian, but then after Gina Carano's mistreatment, then that's it. I'm not supporting Disney. If there's something so personal, of course I'm gonna protest.
Like I said last week, I said listen, Kathleen Kennedy is gonna leave when she's good and ready. But if there is the case of if she does quote unquote have to leave because they asked her to leave, then I think Leslie Headland will be in charge of Star Wars. That's just my opinion and everything.
Leslie Headland is either going to be a figurehead in her position, or they're setting her up to be the next fall guy. Because every director that, with the exception of Filoni, right? They've pretty much they've exiled every director that's worked for them.
But have you guys seen Filoni's interview with Leslie about the Acolyte?
The gay one?
The gay one.
Yeah. The gay one? Yeah.
I don't want to even pull it up.
I can't even. This is what I have to believe that they're doing this intentionally. It can't be
Yeah.
Like they just not aware or they're not reading the
Look,
room.
look at the
It's
timing.
deliberate.
It's June. It's June. Okay. You
Right.
know.
They're pandering.
It's-
The panderverse is in full
It's like
effect.
Kathleen,
The panda.
like Kathleen Kennedy's birthday was like a couple of days ago. She was born in June the 5th. Like,
Yeah. The woman who killed Star Wars. I mean, I blame Iger too. I think Iger deserves
Yeah.
just as much heat as she does. Just let's be
Yeah.
50-50 about this because he was there signing the
Yeah.
shit too. And he knew what the fucking game plan was. And
he could have got rid of her. Like, he could have got rid of her. But it was the fact of like the Star Wars movies made money. That's what he was looking at. Like, they made money for the investors. The product sucks, but hey, we made money.
Do y'all really feel personally women should never be put in charge or given that much power?
No, it's bad people in general. Look at Filoni.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think I agree with Kaylin. I don't think this is a gender thing. I think
It's not
your
a
heart-
gender thing.
Well, I need your opinion.
But like,
in Tim Pool talking about, I don't mean to interrupt. In Tim Pool's video, there's a question asked between a man and a woman. How often do you think of the Roman Empire? And then the video shows of a woman in La La Land while the boyfriend is keeping an eye on his surroundings to make sure they're safe. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, I don't see how that applies to this particular instance, but like I agree with this idea. I just don't think this world of Star Wars was written by true geeks, right? Lucas was a geek, a real geek who had geek hobbies coming up. He didn't, he wasn't just some stud or some normie ass dude who came out of nowhere and,
He was a
and
nerd.
decided he wanted to. He was a true nerd. He understood the language, the lingo. He lived it. Kathleen Kennedy is someone who has been around these people but never understood what made them great. She was on some of the greatest movies of all time, and I see constantly her defenders. Oh, you wouldn't have Jurassic Park. Get the fuck out of here. She was serving coffee. She was serving coffee to Spielberg. Spielberg said as much in a fucking interview. Spielberg said it on record. What was
he
that?
said like he'll never trust Kathleen Kennedy with a project. Yeah.
It's like saying, hey, I hung out with pilots my whole life. I've been a stewardess on whatever fucking airline. Let me pilot this fucking, this huge ship. Like, I don't have the qualification. That doesn't make me a pilot. You know what I mean?
I agree with Franklin. Like, it's not about man and woman. It's about qualifications. It's about just not being stupid. Like, it's a double-edged sword. Men and women have their place together and separate.
Agreed. I think the nerd
I was gonna say this,
like
better.
like on that note, Vidal, what's it called? When for Indiana Jones 5, like when they were announcing who was like part of the project, like they didn't even announce Kathleen Kennedy when she was literally on stage. Like they were saying thanks to George Lucas, thanks to Steven Spielberg, and then like
they snubbed her
Kathleen
ass.
Kennedy and her husband were standing right there, like on the same stage. And they said, thank you, John Williams. And then, like, they were handing out their awards, and like Kathleen Kennedy did not receive anything. And her husband like walked off the stage.
I hate to be that guy that's like trying to knock somebody's credibility, but like you said, even I don't think her peers respect her as much as we're expected to. You know what I mean? Like they know the truth.
Know. They have to know.
They know.
They can't be that deluded to not know.
Yeah.
Ask yourself this. Why did it take them this long? It basically took Lucas and Spielberg to retire for her to get her shot to step in as the lead, right? She'd been around as long as they say. Why didn't one of them give her the keys when they were still steering the ship? Why didn't she helm Jaws 2 or 3, right? I mean, come on. Let's be fucking honest. She's been there, but that didn't qualify her for the fucking job. They trusted her to hire the people that were good for the job. And all she did was hire a bunch of yes men and fired every director who conflicted with her bullshit vision. Every director. How many directors did she chew through on Rise of Skywalker alone? Like 3?
I think it was like 3 or 4.
Yeah. They chewed through a whole team of motherfucking directors before they settled back on J.J. Abrams.
Remember Solo?
They fired the
J.J.
guy for
Abrams,
Solo. You're
like
right. Yeah.
the thing is, like, I'll give J.J. Abrams a little bit of grace or whatever because he didn't want to come back or whatever, but
Fuck
like they
him.
were throwing him
That's
enough
his.
green.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
That's his. That's always been his fucking grift. And he's been a grift for a long time.
Yeah.
He did the same shit to Star Trek. He starts your shit.
Yeah.
Anybody can set up a premise. Anybody can set up an idea. There's no payoff. There never was. The mystery box theory is what
Yeah.
he called it. He literally bragged about it. Create a mystery box.
Yeah.
Let the audience decide what this mystery plot is going to be. Let them imagine what part 2 and 3 might be like. You don't actually have to fucking format or think of it yourself. Let the audience do the work and bow out before you have to pay it off. He did it on 2 of the greatest sci-fi franchises
And
of
he's
all
about
time.
to do. And he's about to do with the third one with this new Batman series that's about to come out, which
and
I
the
have to
Superman
cover.
movie too. And Superman,
Yeah.
you got Black Superman coming out, courtesy of J.J. Abrams.
And that's why I believe that's why David Zaslav did not like J.J. Abrams because he saw through the phoniness. Like, wait a minute, hold on, we gave you all these projects and you haven't started on none of these things. Like, dude, get up out of my office. You're fired, bro. Like,
just give me like $5 million and minimal resources, and let me adapt my books into like some movies. It'd be peak fire. But we actually have a bit of a bizarre media story going around right now. Do you guys know anything about Boogie 2988 or about what's been happening with him recently?
Fat guy, right?
Yeah, the fat dude.
I used to back in the day. I used to find him funny. I used to like him. I checked out with him a long time ago. I heard he was dating some really young chick or something like that. And that was all I heard
Yes,
about.
that's kind of the unfortunate lead-in to this. Boogie actually posted this earlier today, captioned this. This is him and his 18-year-old. There's some controversy whether she's 18 or 20 girlfriend.
How old is he?
I don't know. I believe he's in his late 40s, early 50s.
I don't know about that. I don't know how to feel about that at all. That doesn't feel right. I mean, she's legal, right? But how long have they been dating? And all those kind of questions come up, right?
He's been called out about that, and there was actually a group chat that was leaked.
Oh, here it is.
About him being called out on that. So Keemstar just remembered it wrong if she was in fact 18. So basically about arguments about whether or not she is 18 or 20. Boogie saying that she is 20. Other people have been alleging that she is actually 18. And I actually have a YouTube screen recording from a group chat that leaked of this situation.
like, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. If they're both consenting adults, I don't care. That's my rule.
I think our argument isn't whether or not she's consenting today. She's 18 today, whatever.
Yeah, I get what you.
Right? Because
my thing is, Boogie makes this a thing. Like, look what he put out. He captioned this, putting him and his obviously very young girlfriend. Like, he has this sympathy complex where he loves for people to like humiliate him, and he loves to like put it out there and have stuff stirred up like this. Like, he makes it everyone's business, you know, instead of keeping it to himself.
My thing is, if he was talking to her when she was 17,
I'm sure he was.
I mean? That's what I'm getting at. If she was already in his friend circle or whatever, and they were already kind of on the low or something, that's wrong, right? Because then he groomed her. That counts as grooming, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's where you're wrong. If she's 18, as fucking weird as it is,
that's how I be feeling about it. It's like
I can't say,
if she's a consenting adult, then it's none of my business. Like,
he met her. I just get the feeling I hate to say this, I don't know the guy, but like, it just seems hella sus.
Like, you're going based on it looks like you're judging a book by its cover type of thing.
I am.
I mean, we kind of have to. But let me give some
I'm
preface.
trying not to, but shit.
For this. So, very recently, Boogie, controversy with that, he went on someone else's stream and had a fight with someone on stream about his girlfriend's age. And so Keemstar, who runs the show that Boogie's on, is mad that Boogie didn't save the fight to have on his stream. And so this is leaks from that conversation.
I need you to fuck off. Like, seriously, fuck off. I need you to get on your fucking hands and knees, have your girlfriend fucking film you and say, I'm sorry, Keemstar. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm sorry, fucking Tommy C, Nicholas Diorio, Muta, fucking Tom, everybody that's even fucking cared about the Love Call podcast. I'm such a selfish attention fucking retard that I want attention. I want to be in conversation so bad that I gave the entire storyline of what's been happening on episode 1 to fucking Review Tech USA, because I'm so thirsty to just talk to someone. I'm that big of a fucking loser. Make that video, you piece of shit.
So
I'm sorry, Tommy C.
Not to like interrupt, but who thinks he actually makes the video? I guess
I see the man on his palm.
I already see that.
I've seen Boogie do things that are pretty self-deprecation, right? Like to the extent of like absurdity. I always respect the comedian to do it, but I don't feel his like when Jim Carrey does it, it's hilarious, right? When Boogie does it, it's like, oh, come on, dude, what are you doing? That's always the vibe I got from him. Saying that
I'm sorry, Daddy Keemstar. I'm sorry, Nicholas Di Fiorio. I don't know how to pronounce him. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm fucking sorry. It was fucking stupid of me to go on Rich's fucking show and give away the fucking storyline. I'm a fucking attention hog piece of shit. It was fucking stupid. I should have left the moment Muta came on. I'm fucking stupid. And I'm fucking sorry. I understand your decision. I'll hand over any passwords you need, wherever you want. Sorry.
Why did he do that though? What was he gaining from that? What was
was so pathetic.
I mean, like what is it? Was it worth it? Like I don't understand.
No, of course not.
He's got a humiliation kink. That's what he's into.
I think so. Yeah, that's somebody who quietly he used hard R and retard.
How does Jeremy say it? There's the alpha and beta males. What is he?
I don't even know. But like Big Dog says, so the video and leak is it's actually like 4 months old. But he just the screenshots was just posted today, and he just put that thing up. I think like an hour and 36 minutes ago, with him and his very young girlfriend next to each other.
This is still
caption
happening.
This because he wants people. He's putting it out there. An hour and 36 minutes ago, he says caption this. Him and her next to each other.
For I mean, maybe he likes the controversy for the clicks, right? I mean. It seems like he's leaning into it, everything, all of it. The young girl, right? The idea that it's almost like he's creating his own buzz, his own
again. It's a humiliation kink he's got. That's what he's into.
He's like, I might have been a pedo. I might not be a pedo, right? Like it's a mystery. Ain't I quirky? I don't know.
He's a very weak person.
Exactly.
I remember seeing the video it was a couple of years back where he pulled out that gun on that guy. That was fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That guy that showed up at his house, he was having like a fucking online argument with somebody and yeah, he pulled out the gat. He pulled out a pistol and shot. He got in trouble for it, but in that case, it's likely content clicks. Like, yeah, I think so. I agree. One of the comments is agreeing with what I was saying there. I do think it's got to be he's in character, right? Like, I think this is his character. I don't know anything about him.
Look at his background. He's got his June Pride Month thing up.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to see this.
He's a character. He's playing a.
No, I'm pointing to June. See, he's got the June Pride flag behind him.
Yeah. He's got the colors in the back. I hate that.
Is he gay, or he's just playing around?
Is he gay? What do we think?
No, I mean, like, I don't
know, because he's got. Maybe he's both.
Any of those
I don't
fucking
care.
things.
Well, we know he's hired prostitutes before. He spent like something like 50,000 on prostitutes throughout his life.
Wow. He gave out his bill. That's funny. Yeah, I think he's playing the role, right? He's the court gesture. He's just fucking. He wants that. This is how he's made his money.
Dudes, like he's not gonna go He's not gonna go too far. Like he goes far, but he doesn't go too far. Like he knows how to play it. Yeah.
I mean, he's been canceled probably a bunch because I've seen his name in the like the Twitter feeds for one reason or another. I just think he found what works for
But
him.
it's that old saying, like, can't be canceled if you don't care. So
Right. And yeah, maybe and like Kaylin said, I think a humiliation kink is not uncommon. It's obvious he might have enjoyed that. He had his woman filming it. She's probably into it with him. I imagine she probably slaps him and all that other shit too. So, tell me he does like. I don't want to start painting a visual of what their romance life might be like, but he just grabs me as the type of personality who would take the worst kind of day. He would let someone piss on him and all that other shit. Like he would go the distance if it meant clicks on YouTube or wherever he's posting whatever it is he's posting.
I'm pulling their OF to start up like any day now, which is a very sad.
Good Lord, don't even put that in the universe, Kaylin. Why would you say that out loud? If it comes up, I'm blaming you for that shit. If that shit ever shows up on my fucking Twitter
Boogie,
feed,
if you watch this stream, don't do it. You didn't hear it from me. Okay?
Please.
It's his humiliation ritual. I believe you.
I don't know if he's in. I think he's his own. He's just his own guy. Some guys are just weird, man.
These people have such freaky fetishes and fantasies. I can't indulge in thinking about what it's like. And I've seen some fucked up shit in anime too, and even Japan has some messed up fetishes or fantasies and they put on, and I don't want to get into that.
It's supposed to be an outlet for your right, because cultures that don't have those outlets, like Middle Eastern cultures, have a higher rape statistics, because they don't have outlets. They're all fucking suppressing themselves. All their women are burnt out, and Japan is like sort of like trying to alleviate that. And they don't have, look at their numbers statistically compared to what we got going on in countries like India or the South American countries. It's pretty. It helps. We may not agree with it, right? We may think it's deplorable. But I'd rather deal with a population of guys who are at least getting off in their home, in their own privacy or whatever, in their own deplorable ways, than a bunch of guys out in the street not getting off and taking that rage out on women. And
Yeah.
That's just that. It seems like the numbers make that argument for me. But
there's a reason why don't do it in public. Nobody wants to see that, and then they do that, and that's why I can't stand fighting.
Wait, I'm sorry. Do what in public?
Inappropriate degeneracy stuff. Just use your imagination.
I'd rather not. But yeah.
No need to, because it's all over fucking Twitter. And gosh, man.
Oh, Twitter got the green light for porn now too. That's crazy.
It did? Wait, so that's gonna be showing up like.
Well, it has always been allowed,
but it's like apparently it was not. Like they used to suppress the shadow ban people for stuff like this. Like I know a lot of remember I talked about this the other day. I'm connected with Chrissy Mayer, right? A lot of the guests we met on the show are porn stars or like the Simcast girls, right? They all have OnlyFans or whatever. You can't search up most of their names on Twitter, for example. You can type in their names. And you know how, like, if I start typing in someone's name halfway, it'll give you the rest of it. It'll fill in. If I started typing in Kaylin, the rest of Kaylin's name's showing up, and it'll take me to the site. If I start typing in any of these women's names, their names are not showing up because Twitter is obviously trying to, I guess, protect whoever might be looking up these people, or maybe trying to avoid looking up these people. And apparently that's going to change now. But Elon did say he was going to try to control the porn bot problem.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No, I don't think anyone does, man. And I think he said he was also trying to make it so that you can change the settings to so that porn is just not showing up on your feed randomly, which the adult setting doesn't do anything right now. Like at any time you're browsing Twitter, you might accidentally. Which is why I told you be careful when you were looking up Sydney Sweeney earlier.
Like in Facebook, there's an extension tool you can install on Facebook, and I was able to put the settings where I am not shown any gay stuff or pride stuff on my feed every time I get on face shit. So like
nice.
Yeah, I call Facebook face
that
shit.
That's pretty homophobic.
Facebook has become the most, I think, egregious when it comes to censorship. So it is the absolute shit show, the worst of the apps.
I have
And,
bad experiences there.
I mean, I've seen some raunchy shit on Facebook, but I've also seen friends get banned for making jokes with each other, you know, in like private conversations, which is just crazy. Facebook is the definition of Big Brother, kind of like social media. They're watching even your private conversations.
It's face shit.
It is absolutely face shit. That is a good. It is.
All right.
Trash.
Well, when does the Acolyte episode 3 come out? Is that next? Is it like every Tuesday?
I'm not sure, actually. I'm not. To be honest, I only watched it because I knew we were going to discuss this shit on the streams, and it was like a homework assignment that I was bitching and moaning the whole way through. Man.
Here's the thing, chat. Before we end things off tonight, I want to know: do you want us to keep talking about the Acolyte? Like, do we have to push forward and watch more? I'm leaving it up to you. Like, I don't want to watch episode 2, but I will. Like, I put a review up for episode 1. You should definitely go watch that after the stream. But it's like, should we keep going? Because it was torment for me. It was 50 minutes, and I hated every second. So, like, I'm only going to do it if you actually want me to.
Poor Jeremy is going to do it, and I don't know what
every minute of that fucking show, man. It just felt like the longest show I've ever seen. I was so grateful when I heard they were only going to be like half an hour or something like that. But it just felt
it was like 50 minutes.
Well, I think the first one was. The second one was shorter.
Okay.
So, but it still
if my review for episode 1 hits like 1,000 views, then I'll watch episode 2. If it doesn't, then I'm just not going to push forward. We got The Boys next week too. We'd much rather talk about The Boys and House of the Dragon than the Acolyte.
I think for the sake of conversation, I will try to get into The Boys and House of the Dragon. I'll try to catch up. I mean, I'm not going to binge watch. I try not to digest too much entertainment in one shot like that. I like to kind of take my time with it. But I do want to talk about this stuff because I do need to wash the Acolyte's taste out of my mouth. It was that ass.
Stop watching the Acolyte. Watch House of the Dragon because like The Boys is probably too much 3 seasons to catch up on. I definitely recommend watching House of the Dragon season 1. Because then you can watch season 2 episodes weekly and it's a great time. I love that. Last year or 2 years ago, having like a show releasing weekly that I was excited like to sit down. I knew every Sunday night I was going to be watching the new House of the Dragon episode, and it was awesome because I was excited.
Yeah,
so
I don't get that feeling these days with many shows. I don't
next week you just have to somehow have like 12 hours to catch up on season 1.
Yeah.
And then you can
I'll take my time with it. I'll do like an episode a day, right? And maybe I won't be ready by next week, but maybe the following show we could do. I'll be ready to talk because I do need more positive stuff in my life. For me, I'm at the point where most entertainment, modern entertainment, I'm just checked out, man. I don't watch. I've been collecting Blu-rays and DVDs, even VHS tapes, to just get the fuck out of this space. Like the modern era is so dead and homogenized and watered down and neutered, and it's just like we get once in a while shows, but there used to be there was an era in time where it just felt like you could watch TV at any time on any fucking network, and there was at least one show that was a banger, and we're so far from that now. So
hail the way for
more
of an anime fan. You're gonna love Treese then.
Do you think the new way that we watch movies, we're out of cable and now everything is apps and you can just fast forward through all the commercials and pick another episode. You don't have to wait for the next day. Everything is there. Do you think that's good, or does it like it's not traditional where we used to tune in the next day for a new episode or a rerun?
Kaylin, it seems our boy Johnny here has brought to the chat the legendary argument, the debate, the never-ending debate: binge model or weekly release.
We should have had this when Jeremy was on.
Oh
Chat,
yeah, that would have. We got to do that next time he's on because we know
where
he's
I'm pro weekly. Okay, I'm very much so pro weekly.
I'm a weekly. I see where Jeremy comes from as a consumer, right? With little time on his hands and stuff like that. You want to get through your work week, so you don't have time to be waiting and doing that all shit. but I'm an entertainer.
I'm a binger. I'm a binger, but like I can do weekly too. Like I can switch. Like I'm neither
You have to
or.
pick.
But
You have
like
to
if
pick
you're
one.
like
None
telling
of
me
the
what
If
I
they
chickens
prefer,
announced
battle
that
I
is
House
prefer
of
the
big.
Dragon
binge model.
season 2 was all gonna be dropped in one day, I'd be pissed. I'd be mad and I'd be annoyed because I
Freeze,
wouldn't get
nah.
to
We
have
need
that
a definitive
thing to
answer
look
from you.
forward to. Yeah.
I agree
No,
with you,
I prefer.
Caleb.
I already told you. I prefer. I always tell people this. I always prefer binging because like I watch so much stuff or whatever. Like I kind of need to try to move on to the next thing or
You kind of
whatever.
need to clap them
But you
cheeks.
know, like with the weekly shows, I don't have a problem with it either or whatever. But like if you're asking me what my preference is binge. But you know, like I don't care if it's weekly either. So you know,
There is more balance in this.
Then stop.
Yeah.
Oh
Let me tell you-
shoot.
let me-
We're
Yeah.
literally 50-50 split right now, I think.
Guys,
More like 75-25, but yeah.
They-
let me tell you.
um,
Let me tell you something. Okay, how I got to watching Game of Thrones. I was watching this horrible series with my mom called I don't remember. It's some foreign film in an island, probably in Vietnam, but I think it was like 137 degrees or something like that. It's not hot, but like it was the worst shit I've ever seen in my life, and it bothered me so much. And I was talking to a friend, like this stuff, I can't unsee it because I wish I hadn't. So like I need something to shock me. What do you recommend? What should I do? And he told me to go watch Game of Thrones, and I was expecting so much torture and blood and everything, and like some of it, but it's like more of a compelling story, and like
Exactly.
that's how I
Everyone,
got.
I feel
And
like
like
people who haven't seen Game of Thrones like assume that it's just like boobs and violence, but like that's not why I like it. I like it because of the story. And you know, yeah,
Right.
would I like Sydney Sweeney to be in House of the Dragon season 3? Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. But you know, I don't
I'm gonna
need
make
that
it my
to
life
enjoy
mission
it.
to get that girl, man. And I know I'm like 1 in 100 million, but I'm
No,
going.
Fiddle, I'm gonna make it happen. Oh, one of us at least is gonna make it happen. We're getting her on the show by the end of next year, I guarantee you.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Caleb?
Guys, like and share and subscribe so that we can get Cindy Sweeney on. I promise you, it will happen
Yeah,
within the year.
let's make a
Okay.
bid. Let's like make a whole public bid to get Sydney Sweeney on. I like weekly because it gives you
Hashtag
time to
get
think
Cindy
about it.
Sweeney on.
See, yeah, I'm agreeing with Espada here. I agree with the weekly model as an entertainer, as a writer myself. I feel like also just from a resonance standpoint, when you have time to process your stuff, and this is like also this is true of. I'll use a weird example, but like I noticed that when I eat my food really fast, I'm not enjoying it as much.
Dude, I use the same example. I think like with my brother actually because we're eating pizza. I was talking about anyway. I know
Mhm.
exactly what you mean because it's
Yeah.
like taking a step back and realizing, hey, there's like let's see, maybe it's a show that's already completed and there's 3 seasons out. I can rush through this, or I can sit back, watch an episode a week, and really enjoy and like digest and theorize. That's how theorizing is such a thing, or was such a thing. Like with the Star Wars movies, especially, it's like 2 years between them. There's a lot of time to theorize and imagine, get hyped up and excited.
Oh,
Versus
yeah.
binge, where it's just like, boom, it was a great experience, but it's over now.
It's over. It's just I can't see how it's gonna stick with you with the same weight or whatever. It's subconscious. I think it's something whether we're aware of it or not. This is why we feel nostalgia for people or characters or actors or places that were around for a long time, right? When we think about old shows that were running in syndication, right, and they were rerunning all the time, we remember a day where our favorite show was on the air all the time, right? And then the theme song comes up 20 years later, and it's like it triggers that memory.
Transformers.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. We talked about Transformers yesterday. That theme any of the songs in that show will trigger the nostalgia, and there's a connection there, man. I grew up on the show. I digested it at a much slower rate than we could have ever done in the modern age, right? Because it just wasn't even possible unless you bought one of like the VHS tapes, and even back then it came with like 1 or 2 episodes. You didn't have these complete series DVD sets or any of that shit. So yeah, I just believe that there's more. It has more impact on the conversations people have with each other if we're coming back next week to talk about the same show every week for 5 weeks in a row. That is going to be more to you, to me, to our audience, to the culture, to the pop culture in general. because we've spread it out. We've had more time to discuss it. We've had more time. But if we just blow through this shit, it comes and goes, right? It comes, it goes, and that's it. It may or may not come back in some nostalgic form that way, but it's very
And as like
rare.
YouTubers too, it lets us cover it more. So like House the Dragon and with the boys each week, we're gonna be able to talk about that like a new good show for what's that like 8-9 weeks straight because new episodes releasing each week. I think the boys is like 8 episodes as well, so it's gonna be fantastic.
I'm firmly in the weekly release model. I just believe I believe as humans in general, as Americans, as people right now, we're doing too much all the time. There's too much instant gratification. There's too much TikTok swiping. Yeah, we both thought TikTok at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's attention span is getting shorter and shorter, and we need more. Like we don't have like the reason we don't feel for Star Wars anymore is because the shit is just, besides it being shitty writing, it doesn't, there's no time for it to breathe. I don't give a fuck between releases. They're not giving it time to cook. They're not giving me time to anticipate. We don't care. No one gives a fuck. It's like, well, we just had Star Wars last week. If I eat pizza every day, it's going to lose its appeal. Even something as much as that I might love. We're oversaturating ourselves. We're overstimulating.
I also think it's because there's no time when there's just too much to watch, too much video games to play. You don't have time, and that's why people binge watch. When I was watching Game of Thrones, I treat it as much as an occasion, even though I kind of watch it like one episode a day. When I'm depressed, I need a distraction, and I enjoy my time with Game of Thrones and see what kind of interesting things will happen. And yeah, I try to think about the episode while I go to work, so it distracts me during the long hot days I'm outside, So yeah, I try to treat it as both.
I do think there's a lot to play and there's a lot to watch, but I also think it's important to just take your time to get to these things. I don't. Yeah.
Franklin makes a good point. Boobs and violence, it's just a perk. I mean, that's a perk with everything, not just Game of Thrones. But yeah, definitely taking your time. Johnny, what was your stance on it? I didn't think we got that.
My stance on what?
Weekly.
Well, you asked the questions, binge versus weekly. So what's your place?
I understand people's decision on binge watching because they don't have time, but my personal pick is definitely weekly. It used to be a tradition, a routine. It's like how we used to go to school. Every week we see a new episode of our favorite anime. I get up in the morning to watch Kids WB, and every night on Adult Swim I watch Inuyasha or Full Metal Alchemist. Anything new that's in the morning or at night.
Those are animes, Kaylin. Good ones.
All I heard was Kinuwa Brothers. I don't even know.
Just because I could tell Kaylin was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about Inuyasha.
We also used to enjoy going to the movies.
Yeah. And it's killing me as an aspiring director that we're losing theaters right now. I think the binge model is killing.
Very very nice. The original is
very
my
cool.
preferred version.
You got signatures on that thing too, man.
The original is my preferred version than Brotherhood. Maybe the movie theaters will do reruns of past movies to keep the movie theaters relevant.
Well, that's been happening. Yeah, they've had to because the strikes, COVID, everything hammering the industry.
But I think it's it's convenient too because how far have we gone from all the movies that existed back in the 30s that we don't know? I think it's a good idea to recap. Remember this? If you haven't seen it, then it's new to you. Let's show it. So I think it's a good idea for that convenience.
I wish we'd get some good stuff coming though. Like again, I know I'm a broken record. Give me $10 million. It's gonna happen someday. But why can't these people? They have all the money and they can't just make a good story. It's
because the agenda's first, man. The agenda comes first. Yeah. We're underestimating the power of the $1 trillion propaganda machine. These people spent ungodly amounts of money to make sure that these directors are not just born. It's not like they're hiring people and then telling them the mission. Hey, this is the message. We want you to spread it. No, these people are coming in like we call it a cult, but it's not far from that because for them, it's an opportunity to appease the cult. It is an opportunity. They see it as as a like an important thing. You hear all of these fucking actors and directors talk about it like they're on the front lines of some battlefield in their mind, right? We're saving lives out here. We're spreading the message. Just imagine how much good this movie's gonna do for young kids or whoever.
For young trans infants everywhere.
Messaging.
They think they're fighting a war because their whole lives, I'm telling you, they're being told that the boogeyman has control of their shit. There are people who do have power over all of us, but they're the people who are the real motherfuckers who have the power over us have done well to pay the people below them to teach us that those enemies are this person or that person or everybody but the right people. And that's who these people are attacking: themselves, their own audience, their friends, their family, their own family. You see all these fucking, every one of these directors, every single one of these directors, these writers, they brag about fighting with their parents and their fucking uncles and shit on Thanksgiving like it's a mark of honor, like it's a trophy to wear. Yay! The destruction of the nuclear family.
I honestly don't care about politics versus like on an election like 4 years apart. But now I have to because it's
You
like
have no
in the
choice.
media, it's in
We
everything.
have no choice. They felt that way. They've always felt that way because I believe when you have so little in your life, so little power, so little relevance, you feel small in a great big world. You seek out relevance however you can find it. You seek out the sense of sense of importance, right? And these people have found a cause that they truly believe in because they've had billions and trillions of dollars poured into their mind, showing them alternate facts. Yeah, civil war. That's that they think they want a civil war because
they don't know what that would actually mean.
They don't understand the level of destruction, violence, or what it would actually mean. First of all, there's not enough testosterone on that side to fucking really fight a civil war. They're not combat ready.
Lose.
They're just not. Yeah, you've seen the memes of them making fun of like the fat
I mean,
right-wingers and stuff.
imagine like a trans parade. I'm imagining like a trans parade versus like some old Southern dudes with a few guns. Like it's done. It's like 1v5. It's over. 1v10.
Right. Guys who sit on their lawn all day shooting fucking cans and shit for fun, honing their accuracy to ridiculous level, understanding how to clean weapons, understanding how to survive in the wild, understanding how to cook, build machines, work on their vehicles. All these things happen to like lean into a very specific direction, right? Those are very blue collar, conservative fucking jobs now, right? All these ideology kids, they're going to college for degrees that don't mean a fucking thing in the real world.
Most of these kids don't even know how to change a tire.
They can't. They can't. They absolutely can't. Star Trek did an episode about a society that got so inept with because they built machines to do all the work for them, and their people became so enlightened that they forgot how to do the basic, most essential things. And when the machines stopped working, they didn't even know how to fix them. So their species went extinct. They had like they got to the planet and there was like one guy or like a very few pockets of people, and they were all fucking retarded. They didn't understand like basic shit because they relied on the system so much. That was the story. You know, Star Trek found its own cool sci-fi way. And this shit came out in the 60s. This came out in the 60s, but it's so relevant right now.
It's
These people
foreshadowing.
want to
And it's
surrender
where we're
every
going.
job
Like,
and every piece of power to
think
the
about it.
government.
Day-to-day life, you might go into the grocery store or go into like anywhere. The employees, you don't see these people working actual jobs as much as you might think. Like with how many are now bursting up there, how many like trans people do you see working a job on a daily basis? You don't see it often because they don't. They have no way of supporting themselves or supporting us.
Dude,
And
most
if
of
they
these
keep
people
becoming more of
can't
them,
even
they're
change a battery
multiplying.
to their car without like looking it up, man. Like,
I bet they can't even cook for themselves.
No.
It's like
no, they don't. They have a lot of time on their
that's why I
hands
just
to
said
learn
like
these
if we
skills,
like
but they don't learn.
like I'm gonna keep it a book. Like Americans are too lazy to go to a civil war anyway. Like it'll be too much work for most of them and everything. The so-called people on that side, like they'll quiver over.
We'd
I got,
annihilate them.
samurai
It'd
swords
be
all
over.
around my house right now. Like as soon as I bring out one of those things, they gonna like scream and run away. Like they don't they lost
I
the
really,
art
really
of like
wonder what'll
how to
happen.
change a tire, how to like change batteries, like I personally know how to change oil, but I get my oil changed from people because I do got a busy life too at the same time. But I know how to do these things because my dad taught me how to do all these things or whatever. I
You
never
just said a
forget
key
it, but
word,
like I'm
Chris.
not
You
gonna.
just said a key word. Your dad.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
dad, right? Your father figure. What do these guys
Didn't
do
go
with
get
their
him out.
dad?
He stuck around.
What do these guys do with their dads? They disavow them. They fight them
Did
on
you say dad?
Thanksgiving.
Did you say dad? No. You mean with their they thems.
Right? They can't even
No.
identify
Okay, I'll
their
double
fathers
down.
as
Their
men.
father.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
father.
No.
Hey, at least y'all
Yeah.
had a dad. At least y'all have a dad.
Oh no, let's not bring it down, Johnny. Espada says we should not rely on AI. It's not going to end well. That's another aspect too.
My
Wait,
point is,
Johnny, what were you saying about your dad?
not that they're. I'm not saying that having a father is automatically going to make you a fucking a mechanic.
But it does help.
It helps. What I'm getting at is that they don't even respect men, the men who would teach them this stuff, the men who would mentor them. They disrespect these men on every level, right? They don't respect the cops. They don't respect funny enough, they claim not to respect the government, but every fucking stance they take politically lines up with the political ideas of the government. The irony, punk rock is sponsored by Pfizer in 2024.
And it goes back.
And,
It goes back to what I keep on saying. Like they used to. The funny thing is that side used to be the counterculture. Now we're the counterculture. But my only fear is I don't want us to go so far to where we end up being like them again. So that's why I think with our counterculture, we actually use our head. We sit down and think for a minute.
That's
like,
why
wait
we're
a
here on
minute,
YouTube
does
right
this
now.
make
That's
sense?
why Biddle does his
Yeah.
work. That's why I write books. That's why you guys do your things. Is because we have to create a new
Right.
culture that's a good culture, and we have to have an impact on it. We can't just. I mean,
You have
it
to-
is
you
good
have
to
to
sit
start
back and just watch
thinking.
stuff, but at some point you have to like put your voice out there. And like everyone in chat telling us their opinions and telling us what they think of shit. You're changing something. You're doing something right now. You're putting your opinion out there and making a difference.
Yeah, for every person we bring over to this line of thinking, and it's the good thing about this line of thinking is that you and I think all of us at some point, and we've only done this so many times, we've already come to the point where we've disagreed on one point or another, right? No beef, no blocking, no muting, no fighting on social media, none of this shit, right? No disavowing each other, no trying to cut each other's funds off or whatever the fuck. We're okay to disagree, right? We're okay. We've seen.
But we lost that.
We were talking about fucking Jeremy and the goddamn binge model. Look at the way how passionate those fights have gotten over that shit, right? like people think like the arguments are going to be a problem, and it's like no, the arguments bring out the best in people. There's nothing like any man who's ever been in a fist fight with any sense of maturity understands that when you're done with that fight, win or lose, you have like this instinct in you to hug this guy.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird, overwhelming feeling of like mutual respect. Bro, like you just handed me an ass kicking, or I got the best of you, I'll help you off the ground. If you're not, but like, of course, you don't see that a lot.
And then you end up being your best friends. Just like an anime.
Just like an anime. It's like there's something to be said about like that. That's why I like the side of I believe we're on the right side because we're capable of that. We're capable of saying, hey man, I think you're wrong. Here's why. And you're gonna, if you have enough maturity, I'm not speaking for everybody, because there's a lot of assholes on our sides that are just as bad. Like you said, Chris, you don't want us to be like that. It's very important for us to be. This is Kaylin. I'm not. I made the joke earlier that to compare you to Matt Walsh and fucking what was the other guy's name?
Gavin
McGinnis, right? But in actuality, I don't think you're like them. Like, you by all means roast the fuck out of anime, bro. Please do.
No, but that's Biddle's point, guys. Is like we have like I think that anime is to me irrelevant. But I have the ability to understand that there's a huge amount of people out there, millions of them, who are inspired who would be inspired by American stuff, but they're not because there's a problem. So they're going over and watching anime instead. And I'm able to see,
you're right to be either like happy about that or pissed off about it. And I think I'm a little of both because I'm sitting here wearing an American flag shirt. Nothing used to make me feel more pride than American success stories. Nothing does.
Yeah.
Right. But when I see what the American success story means in 2024, it breaks my heart because it's not the same. This is why I left the film industry in the first place, because to succeed in it, I would have to be one of these fucking assholes.
I have a saying. I said, like, I love my country, but I know that my country is corrupt though. Like, I'm not stupid enough.
Yeah,
like,
we're not blind to it.
Spada says people need to respect their betters, and we need to learn from the past to try and better the future.
Better the future.
And that's why that's why I try and say anytime I'm anything on YouTube, storytelling is what I truly believe. That's our from cave drawings on the wall. It's what's brought us here. It's what's moving us towards the future. Stories inspire people. They make us go out. It can be anything. It could be to create a movie. It could be inspiring someone to go build a car or to go create this thing out of blocks that becomes the next big invention. Stories inspire us. They have so much power. It's insane. We're living in a society right now where they're inspiring us to go down and downhill instead of uphill, and that's
the propaganda machine. They knew that
we're overcorrecting history, and like, you know, that's just the thing. Like, we overcorrected history. Black people got their rights. We're overcorrecting that. Women got their rights. We're overcorrecting that. Latinos got their rights. We're overcorrecting that.
Well, because it's not about actual correction. This is a vanity project for every one of these social justice warriors who want to be relevant. I said it earlier. When you don't believe in anything, when you don't believe in God or country or family, what are you going to do? You're going to fucking put your energy into something else. And in this case, it's the nearest groomer. It's the nearest propaganda story. It's the next influence that's going to get its hooks into you. And they're all telling you the same shit. Hey, you have a lot of problems in your life. You had a lot of financial issues. It's because of this group. Actually, they're hogging all the money. The celebrities are telling you this. The celebrities that have hundreds of millions of dollars are telling you this. Well, don't focus that energy on me now. It's that white man over there, that producer who actually paid me the $100 million to be here. But don't mind that. You know, like
it'd be the whitest of white men that be saying, like, they be all guilty about making their money, and I'm like,
why guilt? Why guilt? You programmed them.
It's just like with the Ninja Turtles movie. The Shredder tells everyone, "You are here because the outside world rejects you. I am your father."
Yes, that is a great comparison. The foot soldiers in TMNT were all about kids, mostly boys, that were looking for father figures in their lives. They didn't have parents, or they were, in the case of the main kid of the movie, he was rebelling against his dad. His dad was a good dad, or at least trying to be. But outside influences changed his perspective. So he was stealing, disrespecting his father, running away from home, shit like that.
That's what you see with schools now. Kids are being sent to school to, what do you do at school? You learn. And they're being taught insane stuff. I know I have this perspective. I'm 18. I was in school last year. Half my friends are still in school right now. And it's insane, the stuff that you go and that they teach you. It's pronouns beginning of each class. It's pronouns at the end of each class. It's pride flags on the wall. It's wild. It's insane. We're talking about history repeats. And Dylan saying it's the story of the golden calf, where there's something that it's just
false idols.
You're going to it and you're going to, and you're taking from it and you're taking from it. It's messing everything up.
They're teaching you to hate your country. They're teaching you to hate your parents. They're teaching you to hate your whatever spirituality that you are.
To change yourself because you are not right. You have to change.
You have to change. Like they're doing like the reverse opposite, that like are giving you bad results, where, you know, when you had like, at least when you had like a love for your country, a love for whatever your spirituality, in my case, God or whatever, you know, your family, like that was all taught in school. Like that was like, and you saw a lot of things, like, you know, weren't perfect, but like we were somewhat like, you know, we could get along with each other. But now, since you took all three of those out, it's chaos. Like the teachers ain't even protected, even though their own union is kind of stupid, but I digress and everything, you know,
I think they know.
But like you can't be a teacher because you're not protected, because the students run the school. It only takes like one instance of you getting an argument with a kid and like you're getting sued or whatever. You know, they're not teaching you how to
or beat up.
Yeah, or beat up or whatever.
Like these teachers
Like,
are
they're
getting
not teaching you
assaulted
how to
and
do
shit.
trades.
Being
They're
a
not
cop
teaching you
is
how
a
to be good
thankless
with
job.
money. They ain't teaching you none of that stuff, dude. It's like
Yeah.
they're teaching you how to be an employee. That's what they're teaching you. Like they're not
teaching you how to be a
you how to
prop.
be.
They're teaching you how to be
Yeah.
a future
Disney
prisoner.
employee, the next Disney employee, you know,
Yeah,
the next
the
Leslie
next
Hedlund,
drone,
the next Harvey Weinstein.
And that's why, and that is also why they elevate a Leslie Hedlund, right? Leslie Hedlund is relatable to them. She's fat, she's ugly, she's gay, right? She hits all the tick boxes, and then she's getting paid millions of dollars to butcher Star Wars, and she's completely
franchise she doesn't care about.
Right, she pretends to, but she's completely protected, and all that did, win, lose, or draw, right? Whether Acolyte wins in the ratings or not is irrelevant because Disney has the propaganda machine. They're going to tell you the ratings are great. Look at our Rotten Tomato score. They're going to tell you it made plenty of money. And the layman, right? The average folk isn't like us. They're not digging into the numbers. They're not going further to investigate who's responsible for these things or who's making these decisions, who's writing this shit. No, the average person takes that at face value. They see it on CNN. Oh, well, the Acolyte is killing it in on Disney Plus, and that's all. I heard it was great.
To be fair though, man, like a lot of people canceled like a lot of Disney Plus subscriptions. So like because like you remember what happened in Florida when they when they got rid of the family, like when Disney when they said that Disney doesn't care about the family unit anymore. That's when a lot of people just said like, oh, okay, so it's about that. So
they went to war
And we
with
have to remember, it's
DeSantis.
not profitable. It's never been profitable, and we have to hope that it never becomes profitable because that's the only way for them to learn is for them to lose enough money that something has to change.
The parks are the bloodline for that thing. But the thing is, we have to realize it's even deeper than that now, right? The forces at play here are more powerful than Disney. They go further than Disney. They're bigger than Disney. Disney answers to someone, right? And the further up the chain you go, the more money you realize. If we think about how much money is pumped into Disney, consider that Disney isn't even the top, like, I think it's not even the top 10 entertainment companies in the world or some shit like that, which
it used to be number one, but then like since they started doing all their stuff, it just
there's companies above it though. Like I put it this way, I think in the top companies of the world, Disney's ranked like 46. And if you think about that number, 46, that means
which is how much influence they have on our society.
Right. Think about how powerful they are at number 46. What does that mean for their levels so far beyond this shit? And those motherfuckers would never, like, if we think we can bring Disney down, bro, it's number 46. It's not even the biggest problem. It's just big to us by our standards. It's in our face. We understand that it's a problem because it's a visual medium, right? But we don't understand beyond that. There's people, if you dig deep, man, you realize our problems are so much bigger than Disney. And we can take down Leslie Ann. Kathleen Kennedy could get her head chopped off tomorrow in Minecraft.
They already have
and
like
it wouldn't
2 or 3 of them
fucking change anything because there's so much more power beyond her. It's like Dragon Ball Z, you know, when they fight the one bad guy and then it turns out that the next guy's 100 times bigger than him or something. And you're like, what the fuck?
So like
there's for every Kathleen Kennedy, they probably have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 backups. Like they said, like
probably
conveyor belt, ready to go.
And I wonder, that's what we're talking about. That's what's happening in the schools.
That's why you see Bob Iger, like you see the difference of Bob Iger now. Like he's scared. Like he's scared for his job, bro. Like his
position was threatened, right? He had a direct competitor in his ranks, right? I forgot his name, but they were having the big boardroom fight, right? They were going, and he almost lost his spot. They spent $40 million fucking dollars fighting that guy. They were willing to drop $40 million just to get one guy off the board. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's how fucking fragile their position is, but that's also how flippant they are with their money. That they can just be like, oh,
and I wonder.
All Nelson Pills just said was, "Can we just start making money again?
This isn't working. Let's try something else."
No, let me ask. Because we can boycott, we cannot watch their stuff, that you'll lose money or revenue, whatever, because every project costs money. So if they're not breaking even, how are they going to continue? Who's going to pay for all that? And I wonder, maybe those higher ups will just keep paying them to keep going with their propaganda bullshit.
That's what DEI is. That's what ESG is, right? The higher your equity, inclusion scores, all this bullshit, the more money you're getting. They've found a way to exploit our tax system, our banks, to essentially create a safety net for them. You could create all the shit projects you want, but as long as you're hitting that diversity quota, the people who are making these decisions are still going to be well paid, and that's all that matters.
And this is what they do. And this is what they do when they're about to lose. Like when they know they're losing too much money, what do? They put out a good project because they know, like, oh snap, you know, X-Men '97. Like I said, X-Men '97 was really good.
Deadpool's going to decide a lot based on its performance box office wise.
Deadpool 3,
I loved X-Men '97, but you saw that no one didn't watch it. You know, like
I would
it was
rather
a good
you
product.
don't watch it, even if it's good.
I don't know how much
Even if
money
it's
they
good.
put into. I can't speak on how much money they put into X-Men, but I know for sure they put a lot of money into Deadpool. I know that for sure they put a lot of money into like Captain Marvel, right? They thought this was going to be a guaranteed hit. I don't know why, but I think they thought by now that the machine that they've been running, right? They've been running this propaganda machine since, let's say, Black Panther, maybe a little earlier than that. They figured by now Captain Marvel would have been nostalgia, like she would have nostalgia'd her way into the hearts and minds of the movie goers. And it's like
it's the opposite. It's like I see her, I'm like, clown, you don't go away. I don't want to see this. No,
it was happening across the board. It wasn't just the movies, right? The video games. Wolverine used to be the front man of the Marvel universe. Wolverine and Spider-Man were neck and neck always. It was always Spider-Man and X-Men. Yeah. The Avengers were actually like a C-tier comic series.
Yeah.
And then the shift happened when the MCU started to make some money.
Yeah, well,
Iron Man changed the game, right? Fox was starting to slow down with with X-Men, or rather they were flopping. Let's be honest, right? They were flopping with shitty X-Men movies.
That's what happened.
Spider-Man started to lose steam with Sony, right? With the Amazing Spider-Man, unfortunately, not being the force that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was. So Disney took the opportunity to kind of like seize that, and they took the Marvel C-tier characters, and Hulk, with the exception of Hulk, I say Hulk was probably like the most well-known Avenger prior to the Avengers, the MCU films.
Yeah. The first Hulk or the Incredible Hulk?
Hulk in general, the character. I don't mean the movie. Yeah. I mean Hulk, the brand, the Marvel character. Hulk was the biggest Avenger, if you will, in let's say mainstream media, like the layman. Everyone knew who Hulk was, right? Not everyone knew who Hawkeye was. Not everyone knew who Black Widow was. People kind of knew who Iron Man was, but vaguely. They knew of Iron Man.
I didn't know about the MCU until Civil War, because I was like, in 2016 I was 12, right? And so I've never been into comics or anything. So the first Marvel movie I saw was Civil War. But before that point, when I thought superheroes, it was like Superman, Batman, Hulk, Spider-Man, maybe Thor. Yeah. I didn't know who Iron Man was. I didn't know who Captain America was, Black Widow, Hawkeye, none of them. It was like Superman.
I think most fans were where you are, whether they want to. You know, you get a lot of these fake ass MCU fans. Because they love to say like, "Oh, I've always been a fan." Shut the fuck up! You haven't been a fan of nothing.
No,
you brushed
up. You don't have knowledge of the lore. You are not a fan. No,
listen,
look, there's nothing wrong with that.
I always tell them this: if you didn't watch Spider-Man the '90s series, if you didn't watch Batman the animated series, you can't talk to me, dude. Like, you really can't.
I'm of the belief that everybody gets in at their own time. Yeah. Right? We can't all be born at the same time. We can't all come.
I know. I'm just I just be laughing about it.
but I think it's fine to be like, hey, welcome to the party, as long as the motherfuckers come in correct, right? It's these new Johnny Come Lately fans. No offense, Johnny, that's a phrase. I don't know if you've heard the phrase before. It's a phrase, right? They come in like they heard about it, and then they pretend that they're a fucking scholar on the subject, right? you could almost beat for beat, verbatim, read off the shit that they're writing on your response on Twitter. If you say Captain Marvel sucked and the last movie wasn't accurate to the book, they're gonna copy and paste Wikipedia.
They be looking up at Wikipedia, like they look at Wikipedia, like for the.
Yep.
I'm seeing that happen in real time with my brother. Actually, on the unfortunate subject of anime, he started watching One Piece, the anime series, and now he's watching. Now he's reading the graphic novels, and when I see him, he's always like, "Oh yeah, dude, the live action sucked. You got to get into the manga." And I'm like, fuck off.
Listen,
but,
as a hardcore
Caitlin,
anime
you
fan,
lost
like,
your brother,
listen,
man. He's
like,
gone. He's never coming back.
One Piece, listen, I'm gonna wait until it's done.
Hardcore.
Like, for all the One Piece fans out there, like, I respect you, but man, if we're talking about One Piece people, they that's who you want to marry. Marry somebody that loves you more than One Piece, because they're gonna stay loyal to you, man. Like,
yeah, you gotta be a loyal motherfucker to stick to that.
See ya, Spada. Thanks for hanging out, dude.
Yeah.
Happy you found
Adios,
us. I gotta
Espada.
get
Have a good
going.
night.
It was great hearing you guys talk. Have a good night. You too, man. You too.
Like Dragon Ball, I'm not big onto One Piece. But I am more into One Piece than Dragon Ball. I've watched it up until they were in the sky, and then I just got tired of it because how long is this show? And if they ever gonna find One Piece, like I'm tired of it.
I'm of the belief that like I said, these fans, they come in, they infiltrate your fucking fandom, right? Because that's what they are. They're outsiders, and this is why gatekeeping is so important. We've seen this in gaming. We're seeing this especially in gaming right now, right? They've ruined gaming for the most part. AAA gaming, at least. I think the indie space is doing wonderful things right now. Right now, in fact, I would argue the indie space for gaming is the future of gaming. AAA space is collapsing in real time. We're seeing it right in front of our face. And that's because we've allowed these fucking fake ass Wikipedia fans to not only just dictate on a fandom level, but they've infiltrated the business themselves. Leslie Headland is a perfect example of your Wikipedia fan. I'm certain that they probably had her study or told her she should study maybe the material, or probably knowing Disney's directive, they probably told her don't come in with a fresh slate, right? But she probably
they told her not to study material.
Yeah, I think they did. I think they told her just understand, like, you can't do this or you can't do that, so you don't contradict this or that. But I guarantee you most of that was so that it wouldn't contradict Disney's lore, not Lucas's lore, right? Because they have no respect for Disney's lore. I mean, sorry, they don't have any respect for Lucas's work, because they wouldn't have done this story 100 years before Phantom Menace if they did. The timeline alone, the choice for this particular timeline to be their choice is a direct insult.
I always thought leading up to this, it was like 1,000 years before.
Yes,
like
it was supposed to
100?
be.
So this clown show was happening. I mean, it wasn't, because we all know none of this shit happened. Okay, prequels and
Fan
OG
fiction.
trilogy. That's all there is. Okay,
This is fan fiction. You're
And the
100%.
fact,
This
and
didn't
the fact
happen.
that they
You're
already
right.
started
It's
making
fan fiction that's
excuses
total
before the show
shit.
even dropped
Total
just
fucking
tells you
shit.
what you need to know.
we see that every time. We saw that with Kenobi. Moses Ingram's getting death threats. It's like because they know it's gonna be bad.
I
they
get
need to
death
block
threats
this
on
issue.
Twitter on a weekly basis, dude, for anything.
But my thing,
Like,
Before even you, with
my
just
thing
from
is
my
that-
books, I get Facebook. I've been getting Facebook Messenger things since I was 15 and published my first book. It's you don't
my
go
thing is
do a
that, my
victim
thing is
thing
this
about
with
it.
the whole entire Moses Ingram thing. Like, she started it first with the fans. She was the one that was saying, like, well, if you don't show up, then you're just a racist. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Why would you do that? Like, we wasn't even thinking about that. Now you're making us think about it. So
She
there
was
you go.
directed to.
Dylan D said, I took a theology class, environmental class last year. If I learned anything right, it was that change starts on a personal level and it's our individual circles. Exactly. Like, that's why 4 of us, and, everyone, like 20 people in total, rotating guests that we've been on and off the channel, this little fandom we have. We all come together here every Thursday night because we have our beliefs and we believe that media should be better. And it's extremely unfortunate what we're seeing, but we're all doing our own things. Luke, who was on earlier, he's got his art. Carlos, who was on the other week, he does his like 5 animations. Fiddle does his stunt work. I do my books. We all do what we can to come together.
I honestly think and it's important that we do believe this, that we are the fucking future of this industry. If we are if entertainment is to survive, as entertainment and not a propaganda tool. It is absolutely essential for people in our circles, in our spaces, to not only kind of like boost each other up, but like to really fucking get behind each other's work, critique fairly, right? Not just be a bunch of shills, be honest with each other. We have to keep it real. Hey, this doesn't work. It's not my thing, right? Kaylin, we understand you don't like anime, right? I write anime style stories. So naturally, you may have a problem with my story. When you judge my work, I want you to be real and authentic with me. Like, be fucking honest, because that's what's missing in Hollywood right now. They're not honest from the top down. These are a bunch of fucking liars, right? They've been bullshitting everyone. Their whole thing is built on
like, oh, trans, check, black. We can assume it's gay. We're good to go.
I don't give a fuck about yours.
It's the old saying from Tupac. He says, "Just please respect it. You don't have to bump it, but just please respect it and everything." That's it. Like, you know.
You don't have to like my shit. I don't need everybody to agree with me. I like fighting. I'm a martial artist. It's in my literally it's in my DNA. I love
same here, bro.
Fight. MMA crease, you get it. You get it. That's what we talked about earlier. When you get into a fight, it's almost a reward internally for yourself and for your opponent to just shake hands when it's over, man. It's a feeling I can't explain to people who haven't been in that spot. It's just it's something about it's like there's a gratitude that comes, and we've lost sight of that. That warrior spirit has been fucking exercised from this generation of people. I mean, we've lost the fight. Like, these people, their idea of a fight is I respect anybody that feels that protest helps their cause, right? And I'm not going to get into the current political climate and all these protests going on, right? But wouldn't that energy be better served in trying to change things on other levels that actually take work to do, right? Like, if you have a problem with law or with whatever, join the Senate. Find a way to get on that board. Find a way to get into your local community's circles and talk about the fucking issue, right? Or if you want to affect things on a social, pop culture level, get into the entertainment industry. You may not be a good writer. You may not be a great actor. You may not be particularly good looking for camera, right? But there's 100,000 fucking positions you could help with. All you need is one skill, right? We all need lighting guys. We need fucking truck drivers. We need help, right? We need to build this ourselves. They are going out of their way to make sure we don't. They're buying everything up. They're shitting on it, and they're making sure that it's so bad that we're not going to want it anymore. I used to love Star Wars so much. All I ever wanted to do was make Star Wars movies, right? Fuck that. Fuck Star Wars. That's how I feel right now in 2024. Fuck them. They can have it. I don't want it anymore. I'll make my own Star Wars.
Me and my friends.
Your own science fiction Star Wars is much better than Disney's. Yeah.
On that note, it's the blue milk, man. I'm telling you. It's the blue milk.
Like, me and my friends
folks,
said
we've
this
had
on
a great show tonight.
It's okay to be a normie. It's okay to be like a casual fan. Just like be open to the teaching. Like, don't act like you know it all. Basically,
I like that.
So,
I like that.
I don't try to go in and change everything to make it your way. Like that interview we were watching earlier where the girl's like, all nerds are gay. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, folks, let's move on. Wrap things up for the night. Johnny, what have you got happening this week?
Oh man. I know I was absent last week. I had a doctor's appointment. I don't want to get into it, but I'm fine. I was playing Rayman last weekend. So now it's gonna continue on, but I lost my save data because the internal save system doesn't work. So I have to buy a memory card and I'm waiting for it to arrive. And I have to start over from the beginning. But it's a pretty hard game, but it's got a lot of charm for it looks like a 90s cartoon, and I'm really enjoying Rayman, the first game. So
the PS1 version,
right? Maybe some Missile Command on the Jaguar and on PlayStation, because I got to figure out how to beat this boss. And I'm still planning on how I'm gonna make more content with me talking about movies and watching movies, because I still
Johnny, watch Lord of the Rings, do it and review it on your channel, and people will show up there.
That would be a great place to start, man. You got a built-in audience already.
Because it drives me crazy that I don't have time and how work is just fucking killing me. First, the heat is just drains my energy, and I slept nine hours after I got home, and then the next day my ankle was killing me, and I couldn't do anything. Why it was so painful. And now, I just got to figure out how I can fit all this in. But yeah, y'all can follow me on the same 5 platforms: YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and Twitter, and just watch me stream retro games that can stay away from the AAA industry that y'all are so sick and tired of.
Nice,
At least
dude.
for a while.
Fiddle, what do you got happening? Oh, I did want to highlight this in retrospect to you quickly, because Dylan, but yeah, being an extra in Epic Verse movie is on my bucket list, dude. That's what Fiddle's gonna be up to at some point after he heals from his.
Yeah, that once maybe Dylan will run into each other, man. I'm trying to get. I believe all of you guys are going to be an extra in my films at some point or another, so that's inevitable.
Oh, one quick
I just
question.
believe that it's important that we build what we're doing with each other's support, and getting everybody I know involved is like a key to that. I really do feel like I see you guys and I see potential, man. We're the future of the entertainment industry. I fucking believe it. We got to back each other up. If I win $10 million tomorrow, as you said earlier, Kaylin, trust that shit is going to be used to build. You know, we got to do it ourselves because these motherfuckers ain't going to do it for us. In the meantime, unfortunately, I am injured, so I'm still healing. I'm renovating my apartment. That's why I got no background today. But you can catch me at Vidal Super Ninja Gaming. We talk about video games, new school, old school shit. I talk about the pop culture. The culture war surrounding video games right now is a big topic. I'm not able to work right now on my latest videos, but soon I got some new stuff coming out. And once I heal, I got some really cool shit I want to share with you guys. I hate that I have to hype this up and can't show anything yet, but give me a couple of months and we're going to be cooking up some good shit. So find me, Vidal Super
Awesome, folks.
on everything.
Go do it. Go for guys. I'll put links in the descriptions after this. I wasn't prepared. Naganal isn't here. It's his fault. Trace, what are you up to?
Well, usually, of course, shout out to the Dynamic Duo podcast. Me and my friend Adam, we do movies. Of course, mostly old school movies, but we do new school movies too. So we're gonna be sooner or later we're gonna drop that Broly video soon. It's coming out soon. For that. Also shout out to the chosen one, Jacob, Kings of Pop Culture, on a little bit of a hiatus, but we'll get right back to it. And also, I am going to be in Dallas this weekend for the meetup. So, June 7th through the 9th. If you guys are in Dallas, I'm going to be at the Dallas Expo, and also going to be at the meetup on June the 8th on Saturday with Young Rippa, Gary, Jeremy, everybody at the G&G crew. Come by through, and that's it, man. That's what I got.
Awesome.
That's what I was gonna
Big
ask.
says, you guys are awesome. It's cool to know I'm not alone, dude. Yeah, it's why we come together. It's we're not crazy. We like good storytelling. Thanks for hanging out, man. If you need anyone for lighting, I'm here. Y'all are a massive inspiration, dude. That's we try.
We're all crazy about geek stuff, yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I was gonna ask about the Dallas meetup. I won't be able to go.
Oh shoot, me neither, because life's expensive. But guys, if you want to stop consuming garbage modern media, if you like fantasy, escapism, I have 3 different series: ebooks, paperbacks, audiobooks. I got my Forging Valorant series, book 3 just released. I got my Krampus series. I got my Elementalist series. So if you like books, audiobooks, graphic novels, just search up here. I'll put a link in the chat. Then I'm doing it. I'm writing books, and I think they're pretty good. They have good characters and stuff. And there's nothing gay about them. So yeah, links in the chat. I also put out my video on the Acolyte. So that's out.
I wasn't expecting that. I'm sorry, Caitlin. That just caught me off guard.
Wait, I don't even know what I said. Was it the gay thing?
I love that in 2024. That's a selling point, bro.
Guys,
gay, I swear.
my books aren't gay. I promise.
Yeah.
Also, the latest video on the channel is my review of the Acolyte episode 1, which was a misery to get through. So please offer me some mental support in the comments of that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks so much, and we'll see y'all next week for episode 16 with potential special guest Sydney Sweeney if Fiddle can pull it off.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen, guys. I
luck with
I
that.
stake my reputation on it.
Later, folks. See